Hello, these spectacular specimens of humankind, you happy-go-lucky scamps of individuals. Welcome on into the cultivating the home of hedonism here in this little questionable corner of the week called twitch.tv/Valenvain. How you doing? How's it going? How was your weekends? I'm not going to lie to you, friends. I'm in pain. I am in pain today. And as a result of being in pain and it being ridiculously fucking dark today, I have really struggled with the motivation today. Really struggled with. Today was one of those days. Do you remember I would talk quite a lot about how some days you really don't want to press go live? Today is one of those days. Today is one of those days. But we pressed it. We pressed it. And here we are. Here we are. We're doing our best. Doing what we can. Doing what's going on, all right? All right. How you doing, you cheeky little devils? How's it going? Sembar, back to the mines. Back to the modding mines. Absolutely. Astra, you cheeky little devil. What if we sneak you key to the chains? No, how dare you? Are you conspiring with my moderators? Are you conspiring with my moderators? Good Lord. What's wrong with you? Why would you do that to you? Why would you do that to yourself? Never mind me. Do you know what I mean? How you doing, Milky Pork? How you doing, Midgarder, you beautiful individuals? Hello, you cheeky devils. Kiara, welcome on in. The Emperor's asshole. I've heard that it's quite regal in there. They've painted it all this like royal purple and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? Giles, how's it going, you beautiful individual? Hope everyone's Mondays behave for everybody. I've just been real meh today. Do you know what I mean? It's been one of those days where I'm just like, do you know what? I just don't give a shit. It happens every so often. It doesn't happen very regularly, but today's been one of those days where I'm like, I've got loads of things to do, but I just don't care. I just don't care. I blame the sunshine. I absolutely blame the sunshine. Like, I feel like if it had been a brighter day today, then I would have been all right. But yeah, it's just been one of those days where I'm just like, I just don't give enough of a fuck to do the things that I need to do today. Also, I think I've trapped a nerve in my back, or like pinched a nerve, more to the point. Not trapped. Trapped is a bit severe. Pinched a nerve in my back. So as a result, there is a shooting pain that goes from like the middle of my back right the way down my left side to about halfway down my calf muscle. And it is quite painful. So that probably also isn't helping my my mood, to say the least. Yeah, my mood. Rach, you cheeky devil. Coming in for an actual tier 1, Rach. An actual tier... I sent you a text message earlier, Rach. I'm assuming you've had a very busy day, you beautiful bean. But an actual tier 1, not using your prime on me anymore, actually choosing to use your really real money. My God. My God. Are you all right? Are you feeling okay? What happened? Did you accidentally use your prime on somebody else? Oh, you beautiful bean. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for choosing to use your really real monies and taking us that one step closer to the 60-40 split. I appreciate that. I will now inscribe your name upon the mirror of Vain. By having your name upon the mirror of Vain means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat. You cheeky little devil, you. I know you thirst for it, but still. And of course, you get access to all those sexy little emotes, but the most important thing is you go roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? But God damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy, oh, yes, meow, you know? You know? Good Lord, Bear. Not you starting with the tier 4 shenanigans again. Oh, yeah, you also get discount on all my merchandise. That's the thing. That's something I want to look at again this year. Nope. Can't cross my legs that way, Val. How you doing, Giles? How's it going, you beautiful individual? One true cripple, you cheeky little devil. Giles, you lurk away, no issues at all. Good metal, yeah. So the song that we were listening to for the intro track is actually a friend of mine who I haven't spoken to in a very long time, called Izzy Von Scarecrow. Let me get the track up. I haven't actually heard that song before, but they released it like 9 months ago. I'll stick it in the chat, so if you would like to check it out, you're welcome to do so. But Izzy Von Scarecrow used to be a streamer once upon a time, back in the day. Along with Coro Official and a couple of other beautiful people. And yeah, they seem to be a very wonderful individual. Every interaction I've had with them has been absolutely fantastic. And then I discovered one of their tracks many moons ago. And I was like, ooh, this sounds like a sort of like a new metal edging on like Marilyn Manson style thing, but with a person that isn't morally fucked. So I really like it. Do you know what I mean? I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of that vibe that doesn't fill me with the ick. Do you know what I mean? Where I can listen to music that is similar sort of genre that doesn't fill me with do you know? That kind of thing. How's it going, Druid Esmedian? How you doing? Dabba Cogsworth, you cheeky little devil. How you doing? How's it going? Eating your dinner and likely to zonk out after any moment. Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing, Druid Esmedian. I fully understand. Fully get it. How you doing, Zabadi, and you beautiful individual? How you doing, Zabadi? And I'd like just like, how you doing? But also, how you doing? Are you feeling all right? You feeling okay? How's the pain? How's the pain? Just Mika, you lurk away, you beautiful individual. The man, the myth, the legend in his own pants. Yes. I'm wearing very cozy pants today because of the pain. Renar, how you doing, you wonderful individual? Why are you in pain? Didn't tell a dad joke yet? That must be it. No, I'm in pain because I think I've pinched a nerve in my spine. Normally, if I've got a shooting pain that goes like down one of my legs, it's usually because something's going on in my spine. I actually pulled out my pull-up bar. I've got like one of those bars that you like hang over a doorway just so I could hang off it for a while. And that actually really helps. That actually really helps. So that again indicates that it's something to do with the pressure in my spine, which is great fun. Love that for me. Love that. It's great. But it'll be fun. It'll be all right. It's one of those pains where you don't take painkillers because when it comes to like trapped nerves and stuff like that, you never know whether you're doing more damage by not feeling the pain. So I'm just kind of persevering through it at the moment. If it gets really bad, then I'll take one just before I go to bed. Just before I go to the land of Snoozy Town, you know? Did you have a good weekend? Yeah, it was one of my nibblings christenings. Like my family are Catholic, even though I do not believe. I am not a believer. My family are quite religious, and they are, but the good religious types, the people that actually don't judge other people for being different. They're actually just wanting to be nice to everybody. So, yeah, they got my latest little nibbling christened, and my dad has got involved with the relevant church, which was the most peach church I've ever seen. But he was telling me all about some of the artwork and stuff that was going on, because I find religious iconography very, very interesting. I like the imagery of it, even if I don't. Ooh, hello, little fly. Even if I don't like the religion itself. Do you know what I mean? I'll tell you about it in a second. First of all, I want to say hi to Sweepy Hamster, because you're a first-time chat. How you doing? Good evening, chat. Good evening, Mr. Valentine. I am very much in Valentine right now. It's great. Healing hugs. Thank you very much. Sounds like pain that you mentioned might be the sciatic nerve, possibly. Have a look at a yoga move called the supine spinal twist. Can help release trapped pinched nerves. Thank you very much. The thing that my dad always told me was just to hang off something. Just like hang as long as you can. Like get your feet off the floor and just hang for as long as possible. And that like stretches out your spinal column, which releases whatever nerve might be trapped in between the discs or what have you. And like I said, I did do it earlier. Pulled out the pull-up bar because I've got washing on the banister.
Yeah, subscribe.
So did a big hang, and that seems to have helped a lot. I'm still in pain, but it seems to have helped a lot, so I'll take it for all is worth. But also, welcome on in, Sweepy Hamster. I appreciate you. Also, Milky Pork, first time chat, not first time viewer, just showing. That's all right, it's not a problem at all, in which case I very much appreciate the fact you coming out of the lurk in order to say hello. That means a lot to me. Because I know that shy people sometimes struggle with that first little step, and it means the world to me that you did that for us today, you know? Milky Pork, thank you very much for gifting a sub to Sciatic Nerd. Or Sciatic Nerd. By having your name upon the mirror of any means, you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat. Right. And Midgarder also giving us up to Sweepy Hamster. Okay, before you go back into lurk, if you'd be so kind, Sweepy Hamster, I have to ask, is your name Sweepy Hamster as in a hamster with a broom? Or is it Sweepy Hamster as in I am very tired and sweepy? Very tired and sleepy. These are the questions I have. These are the questions I have for you. What does this mean? This means, my dear friend, Sweepy Hamster, it means I've inscribed your name upon the Mirror of Vane. By having your name upon the Mirror of Vane, it means you get you get access to my Snapchat, which I haven't used in a very long time, but you will get access nonetheless, if you want it. You get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, because that's for tier 4 subscribers only. You also get a discount on all of our merchandise. If you are interested in purchasing merchandise, you are welcome to do so. But you get a discount for being a subscriber. And on top of that, you get access to all those sexy little emotes for the next month. All of those beautiful emotes. We've got fucking loads of them. It's great. I keep ordering more. Much to Abby Stabby's delight. But the most important thing, Sweepy Hamster, and to you and Skyatic Nerd, is you have to, for the next month, for the next 30-ish days, you have to roll over every single morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? But God damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy, ooh, yes, meow, you know? You know? Went to the hospital today. I know where my pain is coming from. You've actually broken your shoulder? Oh, shit. Luckily, it was a clean break, so it will heal if I don't use my hand for at least a week. And next week, I need to go back for a checkup. Zabadian, I thought... I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just fucking dreaming shit, because sometimes it's one of those weeks. But I thought a medical professional looked at it and said that it was just muscle damage. Or was it like they sent you in and was like, right, okay, let's just double check everything. Let's get you x-rayed and see what actually is going on. Because obviously, most doctors, to my knowledge, most medical professionals do not have x-ray vision. Do you know what I mean? But fucking hell's about it. That sounds real painful, friend. That sounds real fucking painful. Freaky dicky guy. Fucking love your name. Freaky dicky guy. Did you know that the fast food company Sonic had a major inflation scheme that almost crashed the market? For more information, look up Sonic inflation. I dread to think what I will look up when I type in Sonic inflation. I genuinely dread to think. Because I'm immediately expecting some kind of giant Sonic the Hedgehog dildo. Do you want a Sonic inflation? Can I put my Sonic through your ring? You want to check out my Emerald Hill Zone? God damn. That's where my mind is going for it. That is my mind, all right? Where was I? Valen Payne is brilliant for today. Yeah, definitely. I'll take Valen Payne. The thing is, there's also another user that comes in every so often called Vein Pain, which I always think is hilarious. Because that's definitely what I'm feeling right now. Hanging like that can be good for as long as your shoulders are okay. I think my shoulders are good. I think my shoulders are okay. No issues in my shoulders so far, to my knowledge. Though maybe it'd be better if I could like find a way to hang from under my shoulders, so I could just let all of the tension. But then I suppose that would only be tension from like the shoulder blades down.
You subscribed.
I would struggle above that.
Hi Valen.
Hi.
I am in a really good place mentally right now, and all it took was me quitting my job that revoked my reasonable accommodations and constantly singled me out for my neurodivergence and made me feel inadequate no matter my achievements.
That sounds like most corporations, unfortunately, Kel's the Mad. However, I'm very glad. I'm very glad that that you have got to a point where you were able to quit your job, and that has alleviated all of those horribly impossible mental pressures because of the way that corporations tend to treat people. Now, genuinely, I'm genuinely very glad for you, you beautiful being. Also, thank you very much for coming back in for the 4 months. The 4 months, you cheeky devil. I shall now inscribe your name on the Mirror of Vane. By having your name on the Mirror of Vane means you get access to our personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, the cheeky devils. Of course, you get access to all the sexy little emos, but the most important thing is you'll roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? But goddamn, do I make Ruff look good. Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow, you know? You know, you cheeky devil. Oh. Maybe if I sit cross-legged, that'll be better. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It'll ease off in a minute. Fucking hell, where was I? Oh, I missed a whole load of stuff. All right. Give a bit of a headache that won't shake, trying to take it easy. Glad to hear it, Milky Pork. Lots of water, lots of hydration for you. The necklace is lovely. Thank you very much, Sexy Silver Star. I appreciate it. It's my, it's red, like red glass. It makes me very happy because it's like, it's dark and mysterious, and then it's like, oh, you can't see it. Oh, there we go. Give them Nell. How you doing? How's it going? Had to pop to get my prescription. May I share something wild that I overheard on the way? As long as it's within terms of service, absolutely. By all means, please do so. Phoenix Defense, how you doing? Hope everyone had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. I had a pretty chill weekend, I have to say. I had a pretty chill weekend. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's my issue. Maybe that's the reason why I'm in a weird mental space today. Because I actually took the time to chill this weekend instead of being like rushed off my feet. Always dangerous. Always dangerous having time to myself. I've heard tea in the lungs is fucking great. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Saying hi to people. Hope the pain goes away soon. So do I. It's alright. I'll just flex in a bit. This is one of the reasons why I want to go back to the gymnasium. I say back to. I would like to go to the gymnasium because I feel like part of the reason why I'm having so many aches and pains in my body at the moment is not because of age, because fuck the whole age argument. I'm not moving around as much. Not moving around as much as I should be. So I'm going to try and sort that out as quickly as possible. I am away this weekend doing a nerd weekend where me and my group of friends are off to... we've got an Airbnb in the arse end of nowhere. So one day we'll definitely be going out for like a morning walk or something. But we'll be nerding out playing Cyberpunk all weekend, which will be a lot of fun. I'm going to take a lot of my lights down with me to create some mood lighting, you know. You may not give a fuck today, but your makeup looks amazeballs, friend. Honestly, One True Cripple, that's one of the things that I always do. If I'm feeling shit, if I'm in one of those phrases where I'm just like, I just don't give a shit, I have a tendency to put on makeup and spend some time putting on makeup. That's the reason why I was late today, was because I was spending time putting on makeup so that I could feel the effort that I am not feeling, if that makes sense. So I could look like I'm putting in the effort that I'm not feeling. Helps get my brain into a bit more of a gear. Do you know what I mean? That pain screams pinch nerves at me. Heat therapy may help. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with heat therapy. So, or heat and cold therapy. So I just stretch out. Stretch out. You know how it be. Classic Gary, how you doing? How's it going? Tried to read the Necronomicon, but the pages were stuck together. It's Necronomicon. Oh my god. I was about to say that so are mine, but you know. But you know. I also have severe sharp pain that you're medicated for today. At least you got medicated. I'm glad the medical professionals have sorted you out with something. Mine just requires pain, like flexing. You know what I mean? How do we approach this? Can't exactly announce that we're looking for information about mysterious pregnant ferret. The lack of context earlier made me cackle in the street. Oh, so how do we approach this? We can't announce that we're looking for information about mysterious pregnant ferret. The lack of context would make me laugh as well, Nell, to be honest with you. For sure. For sure. Then I'm back to where I was. Cool. Right. As long as your shoulder is okay. Yeah. Read all that. Wishing you good recovery. Sad that they missed that earlier. Yeah, I'm surprised that they missed that earlier, but some human doctors, medical professionals are still human beings at the end of the day, and we all make mistakes every so often. You forgot to say, oh, that's all right, no. That's okay, that's not a problem. You don't have to say hi by any stretch of imagination. You're here. That's what matters. That's what matters for sure. You know? It was a break in a very specific place, which was barely visible on the x-rays. Oh, that's annoying. That's really frustrating, Zabadian. Good lord. As again, the chat glitz. Yeah, the chat has a tendency to do that. Go on then. How do I find the Snapchat things? Oh, that's a really fucking good question, actually, Sweepy Hamster. Because we did have a section in the Discord for it. Are you a member of our Discord? You said that you've been here for, like, lurking in the background for a while. Did you ever join our Discord? I can just drop you a message and let you know what my username is on that. Do not expect much from it because not much happens. Not much happens on there, you know. Frankie D, how you doing? How's it going? Speed recovery got the how you doing, Finley? How's it going? What the fuck is going on with my chat? My chat is bouncing all over the fucking place. I wish it wouldn't do this. Fucking little shits. It's like I have turned off so I've got 3 chats, by the way, friends. I've got one over here for emergencies, one over here so I can keep up to date in case any fucking trolls come in or what have you, and then my main one that allows me to scroll and what have you. But for some reason, the fucking OBS plugin that I have, like, I turn off auto scroll so that I can keep up to date with what is going on and so I can reply to what people are actually fucking saying. But right now, it just keeps fucking bouncing all over the fucking show. I'm like, just fuck off. Let me read what people are actually saying. People are spending their time actually typing stuff out. Let me fucking read it. Ooh, I am irritable today, aren't I? Woo! Woo! It's all right. It's the pain. It's the pain. Sounds painful, but I'm glad they found it. Yeah, definitely. For sure, for sure. Also, Pain, I bet you think this song is about you. Absolutely, Astro Tower John. How you doing, you beautiful being? How's it going? What did I ask you about your username? Sweepy Hamster, I asked whether it was your username was specifically about like a little hamster with a broom, or whether it was I'm a very sweepy tired hamster. Oh, sweepy sweepy. Those are the questions I have. Is it uwu or is it a little hamster with a broom? Most important questions, you know. I'm a love doctor with sex-ray vision. Does that mean that you can just look at somebody and they immediately orgasm? Because if so, I would like to learn the trade. Tunackers, how's it going? How you doing? Just be over it and search for Sonic the Hedgehog dildo now. Might as well. Might as well, for sure. Sonic inflation when the doctor gets an erection. Oh my fucking god. Hanging from under your shoulders can put pressure on your brachial artery, which is no bueno. Well, shit. I'm glad that I learned that before I started hanging from my shoulders. One true cripple. Thank you very much for letting us know. I would like to try a hang bar, but I don't know if I can with how heavy I am in like 2 people in one body. There's only one way to find out. No, there's only one way to find out. Give it a try. Do it a safe place where you can give it a go, you know, where you're not going to fall like too far, like just give it the things, you know. If you want to try something, fucking try it. If you want to try something, fucking try it. I gave them my 2 weeks and they walked me out the same day, but they legally have to pay me for 2 weeks. Good. In which case you can enjoy those 2 weeks worth of pay, Kels. Absolutely. So you had to do that though. Hope things turn around for you. That's all right. I'm assuming you're talking to somebody else because I can't remember the context. Oh yeah, congratulations. Yeah, Kel's situation. Yeah, absolutely. How was the movie yesterday? Fucking weird. Good fun. I enjoyed it. Yesterday was like the community movie night and we had a whole lot of people. We had a good dozen or so people in. And we watched The Last Unicorn for the first time. Watched The Last Unicorn. I've never seen The Last Unicorn before. So that was interesting. Fucking weird movie. Good old dark fantasy, animated movie, kids movie, family friendly-ish, but fucking weird. Like, weirder than I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be a bit strange because it's dark fantasy from, like, the 70s, 80s, or what have you. But it was weirder than I was expecting. You know? Tea is for drinking, not for breathing. Can't guarantee anything. Sometimes I just need tea in my lungs, all right? If you sit at the edge of your bed and slowly slide your lower back butt off the edge, very slowly, slowly stretching and separating is very controlled, because if things go awry, you can gently slide onto the floor with your arms supporting. Okay. I mean, I can give it a go. Not against giving it a go, for sure. Try everything twice, because the first time it might hurt, right? Don't breathe tea, it hurts. Do you know what? I've tried that more than one occasion, to be honest with you. I should have learned from the first time. You're in a weird headspace on Sunday. No idea how or why. Not bad per se. Just weird. Which is why I did my awful Guitar Hero experiment. I think there was a great Guitar Hero experiment, Finley. I fucking love that clip. That was hilarious. Absolutely fucking hilarious. I think, to be honest with you, a lot of it's down to the weather. The cold and the lack of sunshine fucks with our heads as the human species. Abso-fucking-lutely. Add any description of pain in there and it's a recipe for it. Like today, like I said, today I came down, I did a whole load of work this morning. I was on a fucking rampage. I was like, let's fucking go, we're doing well. And then it hit about, I don't know, 2 p.m. How about 1:30, 2 p.m. and I was like, I just don't give a shit anymore. I just don't care. Wasn't bothered about anything that I was doing. I was like, cool, I'm gonna go and sit and watch some shite TV for a little while. I watched an episode of something and then continued watching episodes of something instead of getting back up and doing the things that I needed to do. But never mind, it is what it is at the end of the day. It is what it is. Had a headache all day, worked in a pharmacy clean room, and the pressure handling unit went on the fritz, increasing the pressure and having really loud squeaky noises, but had to endure for half an hour. Fuck, that sounds awful, Lucky Pork. That sounds absolutely fucking awful. Makeup can be self-care. I think in a lot of contexts, One True Cripple, makeup is very much self-care. For 3 reasons. I'm gonna go with 3 reasons. 1, most people feel better wearing makeup. You feel better. Your skin is smooth and toned. You draw the attention to the aspects of your face that you like my eyeballs. It's like, it's a way of sort of building up your own self-confidence, your own self-worth and stuff in your brain pan and what have you. 2, it makes you stop for a minute to focus on that one thing where you're like, right, I'm gonna spend the next 20 minutes, half an hour, however long it fucking takes, to just stop and go through the motions of putting on the face. It's also in that same one, it's also not very brain heavy work. You don't have to fucking think really deeply about it in regards of putting on the makeup. It's like, right, okay, this is the style that I want to do. I don't have to think deeply about it because I know what the fuck I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? And 3, the act of putting the makeup on is usually quite therapeutic. The feeling, the sensations that you get across the face, sensory stimulation that you get across your face is usually quite therapeutic as well. I think makeup is very much self-care in many, many, many different ways, for sure. For sure. Looking fabulous to distract from the mess space. I always put an effort in when I'm feeling a bit meh. When I'm feeling a bit meh, I always put a little bit of extra effort in because it makes me feel better. Do you know what I mean? If I look good, then I start to feel a little bit better. You know? Heat cold therapy, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. As in, I put a heat pack on my back for 20 minutes, then put ice cubes on my back for 20 minutes. Is that what you're talking about, OTC? Cat Paws, welcome on in. I am indeed a cheeky devil. This is very true. Looking amazing today. You are. The flattery gets you everywhere. I'm not feeling amazing today. I'm feeling pain. But I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. We're cracking on. Grio, hello, you beautiful individual. Looking good. What's going on? It's because I've got my sleeves off, isn't it? It's because I am sleeveless and everyone's getting to see my beautiful tattoos that they haven't seen in fucking 4 months or what have you. You know. You're not on the Discord. Thank you. Yeah, if you want to jump on the Discord, you're welcome to do so. I'll drop you a message and let you know what it is. But like I said, don't expect much. Amber, hello, you beautiful individual. How's it going? It has been a while. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. Hope that you are getting up to trouble, as always. As always, you beautiful being. I might be seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. I believe. I might be seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. I just need to sort all my bits and pieces out. BN215, how you doing, you beautiful individual? No worries, OTC, you take it easy. Zooey Booey, hello, you glorious individual. Faye Goth, welcome on in. How's it going? I am a sweepy, tired, ickle, fluff ball. I see, sweepy hamster. Okay, now I've got context. It is uwu as opposed to hamster with a broom. I thought it was hamster with a broom. My brain was like, oh my god, that's hilarious. I love a little hamster with a broom. But no, sweepy. Snoozy puzz, for sure. Enjoy smoke is a full flavored smoke, asking because I'm giving up and I miss them. I need to be very careful, friends, about I'm not smoking anymore, but when I go out and I go drinking, I have a tendency to vape. And I went out drinking with some friends on Friday night, who I haven't seen in a very, very long time. Haven't properly hung out with them in a very, very long time. And I was all right. I only had like I don't know what, a dozen vodkas. Which isn't a great amount for me. And I was all right until I got outside. As soon as I got outside and the fucking freezing air hit me, I got real drunk real quick. But before that, I was all right. But I had this like berry flavored vape, and I was drink. I get very decadent when I drink. The hedonism kicks in. And I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. Unfortunately, I started huffing on it to a point where it was evidently the end of the vape. So I was just inhaling burnt coil, and I woke up with the worst fucking headache on Saturday. Some of you may have seen me when I invaded Classic Chunk's stream to help him with a puzzle that he was doing. But that headache was absolutely... It wasn't the vodka, because vodka doesn't cause a headache like that. Unless it's like moonshine vodka, which I know the pub, so I know it's not. But yeah, I think it was all down to the fucking burnt coil I was huffing on. I don't like, I've talked about this many, many times for those people that are new here and what have you. I don't vape on a daily basis. I don't partake in nicotine on a daily basis. It's not something that I fucking need in my life, or anything like that. But when I go out for a drink, I quite like a little, you know what I mean? It's very much a social thing that I partake in. And yeah, I did that on Friday night. Then Saturday, I did a pretty chill one. And then Sunday was my nephew's christening. And like I was saying, my dad has got really in, like, my dad's very heavily Catholic, has got in with the church. And he introduced me to the priest they have in there. And he was a young gentleman. Who was actually a very, very good priest. He talked a lot about the fact that we might be Catholic. I say we, the congregation might be Catholic. But regardless of that, it's not about separating out people. People should, like, Catholics, Christians in general, should just do good things for the sake of doing good things. It shouldn't be I'm going to help them because they're Catholic like me and I'm going to fuck everybody else off. It's like, help everybody because that's what Jesus did and so that, which is the side of Christianity that I genuinely think is good, because it's like, yeah, do good things. You don't have to fucking worry about it. You can just be a decent person. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, as we were leaving, after the christening had happened, as we were leaving, my dad leaned over and he was like, hey, Val, do you want to see the crypt? And I went, what? And he went, there's a crypt underneath the church. And I went, we're in the middle of town. What the fuck do you mean there's a crypt underneath the church? So we went down to see the crypt. So under the church, there was these like vaulted archways that had been, the church was about 200 years old. So still quite a new church actually. But there was these vaulted archways in brick. And a load of them had been bricked up in the archways, and in those archways were interred bodies from like the 1800s, which was mind-boggling to me, and very, very, very cool. We went down and we had a look around and we were looking at them all and stuff. there was an entire section underneath 200-year-old church is new, cries an American. Yeah, that is 200-year-old church is a very new church in the UK. So there was all that side of things, and there was an entire section that was dedicated to a set of monks, because when they were building one of the in the late 1800s, early 1900s, there's a place in my hometown, Hull, called Whitefriar Gate, as in Whitefriar Gate. And that's where the White Friars Monastery used to be. And when they were building one of the one of the government buildings down Whitefriar Gate, they realized that there was a mass graveyard where they buried all of these white friars, where they buried all these monks that went to the monastery. So when they had got all the archaeologists in and cleared all the bones out and what have you, like, where are we going to inter them all? And that specific church was like, yeah, we'll have them. We'll stick them in our crypt underneath. So there was an entire section dedicated to the White Friars. And there were two things in the crypt that unnerved me. I don't get unnerved by shit like that because I don't believe in the supernatural or anything like that. It's not a fucking thing. There was a couple of little holes where you could like look in and see like the headstones of all of these like sarcophagi, for lack of a better term, which was pretty hilarious. That was pretty awesome. But there was two things that properly freaked me out in the crypt. One was at the end of one of these corridors, some of the brick had fallen out into the corridor itself. And it looked as if something inside the crypt had broken out. Obviously, I'm sure it was just like wear and tear and the mortar had fucking gone on the bricks and instead of falling in, they'd fallen out and what have you. But it looked, for all intents and purposes, it looked as if something had crawled out of the fucking crypt, which was cool as shit, but my asshole was going 5p tempi, 5p tempi, 5p tempi. Do you know what I mean? It was like, oh, all right, okay, that's a thing. That's a thing that's occurred. All right. And the other thing that freaked me out was the fact that there was an entire block. Like I said, there was a block that was dedicated to these White Friars and what have you. But there was an entire block, like one of these big alcoves that had a big sign on it. There was it was like old concrete, like mortar, as it were, like old concrete that had been smeared across the all of the brickwork of this alcove where all these burials were. And it said, in fact, you know what? I think I've got a photo of it. What did it say? It said something quite specific. Photos. Well, there we go. The concrete. It was. It definitely wasn't concrete. It had some letters, J-U-L, which I'm assuming was just like July. And then it said, not to be opened. And it was literally just carved into like somebody had done the fresh layer of mortar. So it wasn't like new. And then just put their finger in it. And it was like not to be opened. And I was asking my dad about it because my dad knows a little bit more about these things than I do. And I was like, what is going on? What is it? Is it like a fucking vampire? Is it the devil himself? What's going on? Oh dear, Catholic father. And my dad was like, yeah, it could be those things. But I think what's probably more likely is that that's where they buried the typhoid victims. The people that died of typhoid. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. So in the old crypts and stuff like that, when people died of horrific diseases that were highly contagious, they would make sure that they would like put warnings to make sure that people didn't, dig them up for fear of spreading the disease around again. And I was like, oh shit. So underneath this church, in the center of town, in the center of my hometown, there is a typhoid burial potentially, or some other infectious disease burial. Which I was like, oh shit. Fair enough. All right. So yeah, so that was pretty freaky deaky. That was pretty freaky deaky, but I enjoyed it. It was good. Beware the infected, exactly. I'm sure the plague pits are under Hazel Road. Yeah, there are definitely plague pits under Hazel Road. So my dad used to be an architect many years ago. And there are, when you apply for planning permission in various different areas of Hull and stuff like that, there are areas that are marked out as the plague pits that are like, you can't dig lower than however many feet in this area for foundations and shit like that, because the plague pits are all there. The old plague pits and what have you. The other thing that I did find very entertaining in the church, because like I said, I'm a fan of religious iconography. And my dad was telling me when they were like doing all the bits and pieces and whatever, my dad elbowed me and he was like, you see the big mural, there was a big semicircular mural at the top of like, there was like the altar and the sacristy and all of these things. It was like fucking models of saints everywhere and angels and the old school cherubs, you know, the ones that were just one baby head with 4 wings coming out of its neck, like the old freaky deaky cherubs, biblically accurate cherubs. And then like right at the very top, right by this like big circular roof window, as it were, there was a big semicircular mural that had been painted of like Jesus and a load of the saints and like the gates of heaven and all that shit. And he was like, you see that mural up there? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, so back when that was painted like 200 years ago, there was, in the city of Hull where I live, he was like, there was 2 ecclesiastic artists. So 2 artists that were officially allowed to paint Catholic iconography in the city. Only 2. And he said, do you see the bottom left side? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, there's a guy that's looking out to the audience and he's pointing up to the gates of heaven, as if to say, hey, this way is the gates of heaven. And I was like, oh, right, okay, interesting. And he was like, that is one of the artists. That is the artist that painted the mural. And I was like, all right, okay. I know that in old art, especially like 1700s, 1800s art, that it was very much a common thing where artists, especially in religious iconography, artists would paint themselves into the artwork as if to say like, hey, I was the one that did. It was like the equivalent of a signature. Do you know what I mean? So that was one of the artists that was pointing the way to heaven, being like, hey, everybody, that's the way to heaven. All right, got to pray, otherwise you don't get into heaven. And he went, have you seen the other side of it? So the other side of this semicircle was another guy on the right hand side. And I was like, yeah. And I saw this guy being dragged down to hell, like the devil had hold of, or a devil had hold of one of his ankles, and he was dragging him down to hell. And I was like, right, okay, yeah. And he was like, that's the other artist that wasn't commissioned to paint this thing. So I was like, so on one side, you've got the artist who was commissioned to paint everything, pointing the way to heaven. And on the other side, you've got the bitterness of the artist being like, yeah, I'm going to paint the other fucking ecclesiastic artists in this city. And I'm going to paint him being dragged to hell because he didn't get this commission. Fuck that guy. I was like, that's amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing. So yeah, that tickled me greatly. That's the one of the genuine joys about going into like old churches and buildings and stuff like that, is just these weird little stories that come out. But you know anyway, I've been distracted now. I need to catch up with chat, catch up with what I was doing. Shit, petty bullshit, absolutely for sure. No, do the heat thing for 20 minutes, then nothing for 20 minutes, then cold for 20 minutes, then nothing for 20 minutes, repeat. Okay, all right. I will do my best because I don't have any heat pads and I don't have any microwave. What I could do is, I just remembered that I've got Tiger Balm upstairs. Tiger Balm is like deep heat, but an ancient Chinese recipe and infinitely fucking better. So I do have some of that upstairs. So maybe I'll have some of that before I do anything.
Hand it to it. Hand it to it.
Microwave your tea bag.
Fuck you, and the horse you rode in on, Razotta. Tiger Balm is garbage. I've always liked it. Yeah, I've always gone with it. Vithka, how you doing, you beautiful bean? I've always gone really well with Tiger Balm. After, like, when I did all of my fucking sports injuries when I was a pole dancer, Tiger Balm was fucking angelic. It was great. Have you not had a good time with it, Want to Cripple? Would you prefer something like DP or something like that? I've been good and super excited to see you again. If you're able to meet, yeah, I'm doing my best, Amber. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to organize it all. I've got some stuff that I need to rearrange. And once that's all sorted, I should be able to book like hotels and stuff and come down and see you all, because it should be a lot of fun. Although the times that you're coming are the worst times ever. Beginning of a fucking week. What is going on? What is going on? Hitting burnt cotton is terrible. Been there, yeah. On the vapes, yeah. Just burning that coil for sure. Faye Goth, are you still here? You beautiful individual. You still around? Same as why I don't drink anymore. I'm a messy drinker in that I'll have more chance of doing drugs and such. And at 52, I need to channel that energy elsewhere. Entirely fair. Entirely fair. I'm not a drug taker, Midgarder, and I've never been a drug taker. Every single one of my friends, I've been offered drugs time after time after time because there's friends of mine do drugs and they're like, hey Val, do you want in? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I've never seen the appeal of them personally. I've never seen the appeal of them. I have a really good time drinking. Like, I like getting to that wonderful tipsy stage and then staying there as long as I possibly can. So I've never really seen the need to go on to other drugs and what have you. But I can completely understand, like, the way I am with a vape. Like, I'm have a drink and then I'm like, oh, I fancy a vape. I could imagine that if I had got into drugs when I was younger, then I would have a real issue with it now. But only when I get drunk, because I'm not... Like I said, I don't have like one of the addictive personalities where I'm like, I need to do the whatever I'm addicted to. It's more like I'm just like, all right, I'm having a drink now. All right, okay, now I'm having a drink and I've loosened things up. I'm feeling quite hedonistic. Let's partake in some nicotine as well. Do you know what I mean? Okay, Faye Goth, you asked me 13 minutes ago, you asked me a schmex question. For those people that don't know, I'm a sex educator, so I will happily answer sex education questions that people use on their channel points. You know, you can also, if you've got a private sex education question you would like to ask me, there's a little link in my Ko-Fi, in my donation page, where I think it's like £3. You can ask me a private one. And that way I'll answer you directly as opposed to... thingy. I think a couple of people have asked me private questions and I keep it as confidential as I possibly can because it's not, you asked me privately, you know what I mean? Nothing to do with anybody else. Some folks can get aroused by dangerous noises and threatening symbols. Yes, they can. Is this the brain way of dealing with trauma, or are some people just wired differently on a genetic level? That's a really hard one to answer, Faye Goth, because there is no confirmed source of it. Kinks in general, like the things that stir the arousal of people, come from a large variety of things. Sometimes it is trauma based, sometimes it is rooted in certain trauma or certain ways of dealing with that trauma. Sometimes it is rooted in the taboo of something, as in it is something you shouldn't like and therefore they get really excited by it. And sometimes it is rooted in a preference for like that symbol. Do you know, and I'll even go so far as to say sometimes it's because of the shape of things. Like what you mentioned specifically, like threatening symbols and stuff like that. Like I know people that are into like knife play and stuff like that, but sometimes if it's down to like a symbol, if it's like a symbol that they are particularly aroused by, that can be down to the shape of it more than anything else. You know how some people like see shapes? Trying to think of a good example. You know how like some people really like watching spots get popped? Or some people really like the movement of the ocean or watching water flow and what have you. It can be quite relaxing for some people. It can be like there's a lot of stimuli in regards to visual stimuli in particular. And you know what? Audio stimuli as well. that can tick certain boxes in the brain. Especially for this community, perfect example. A lot of this community, a lot of people in this community will have a favorite spoon or a favorite mug because of the shape of the mug or the style of the spoon or what have you. Do you know what I mean? Those things are ticking boxes in the brain, being like, this is a good spoon, this is the perfect spoon for the mouth, this is the perfect spoon to get the perfect amount of food because of the shape of it. They like the style of it, they like the way it bends, they like all those things. It's all down to stimulus that ticks boxes in the brain. Same can be done on an erogenous level, where certain visual stimulus can tick boxes in the brain for something that's like arousing. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there are certain dynamics which is like, yeah, it looks like tits. Yeah, it looks like a penis. Yeah, it looks like a vulva, which will be the obvious ones. But those aren't the only ones. There are a lot of things in the world, because obviously there's 8.5 billion people in the world, and every single one of them will have different preferences on what they like and what they don't like, especially in a sexual dynamic. Those will all be different. Certain things will be like, oh my God, that's fucking great. I remember about 15 months ago, I was really fucking drunk, and I was walking home from the pub, and I was listening to some music, and as I was listening to the music, I got real fucking horny. I got real horny because of the music that I was listening to. Never happened before. I've never had that experience before. Never been aroused by music before. And yeah, that was a new sensation for me. That was just one of those things where I was just like, okay, I'm in the mood now. And it wasn't like particularly erotic songs. They weren't talking about fucking fisting each other or anything like that. There was nothing about the song that was erotic in itself. It was just that in that moment, it ticked boxes in my brain that was just like, yeah, this is, I honestly couldn't even tell you what the song was because I can't remember. Cannot fucking remember. But I know that it ticked those boxes in my brain. I know that it ticked the erogenous boxes in my brain, and therefore I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. This is ticking the thingies. So in regards to answering your question, people can get aroused by dangerous noises and threatening symbols and stuff like that. Abso-fucking-lutely. Sometimes it's a taboo thing. Sometimes it's a danger thing. Like I say, with stuff like knife play and stuff like that. And obviously there's CNC, which is consensual, non-consensual. The role play of a sexual assault, which I personally don't get, but I know a lot of people that do. The consensual, non-consensual is the important bit. You consent to the role play of a scene like that. And there are always prerequisites and safe words and ways that people can get out and stuff like that when people do it properly. But that dynamic, the threat, the danger, the thingy can be very arousing. Sometimes, as I said, it can be sparked from previous trauma or dealing with trauma or ways of coping with trauma. Sometimes it's just purely down to the danger. Sometimes it's something that they don't even fully understand. It's just like something in the subconscious that is making somebody go, yeah, this is ticking the boxes now. Let's fucking go, you know? So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. That's the thing. Walked home with a stiffy. I did not walk home with a stiffy. When I got home, however. Yeah, now. There we go. Cool. Right, where was I? We were raving. How's it going, Vithika? How you doing, you beautiful bean? Scary crypts and locations can be used to exercise the sphincter. This is true. This is very, very true, yeah. If you want to do your pelvic floors, that can really help out, go into scary places. I genuinely think that many people who go ghost hunting are actually just working out their pelvic floor muscle. Do you know what I mean? It's a solid theory from my perspective, you know? Just stretching. Thank you so much for all you beautiful lurkers, by the way. Appreciate you. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for hanging out. and using your channel points to redeem lurking. I won't call you out because that's shit, but you know. Also, Voyage Base, thank you very much for those $200 panderings. I did get it. All the concrete. Or worse, Rowan Atkinson. I fucking love Rowan Atkinson's work. I don't like him as a person. It's an ongoing scenario where I'm just like, do you know what? You're a bit of a douche. But then I also get it. I understand why he's a bit of a douche, because at one stage he was as famous as the Beatles. So, you know. Yeah, I know. Beware the infected. You know it. You know it. It's been a few years since I visited Hazel Road. Yeah. I was there. Well, I was there during the Christmas parade. We went down Hazel Road way. You know what I mean? Don't typhoid open inside. Exactly, Milky Pork, for sure. Petty bullshit, yeah. Love to see it, for sure. Sammy Zaitis, how you doing, you beautiful being? Welcome back on in. Hope your day is utterly amazing. My day's been pretty fucking awful, to be honest with you. Not in like a bad way, just in a meh way. Do you know what I mean? As I was saying to you know, for all you beautiful new people here, I've just had one of those days where I've got quite a bit of pain going on. Something's going on in my back. Which is causing some anguish, and I've just had a really weird mood day where I'm just like, everything is just a bit meh. I'm struggling to give a shit today. Do you know what I mean? I'm struggling to give a shit, you know. But as I was saying at the very beginning of the stream, actually, today was one of those days where, as I talk about all the fucking time, there are days when you just really struggle to press go live. And today was just one of those days where I was like, I don't want to press go live. I want to go curl up in bed, eat some fucking chocolate buttons, and watch some shite action movie. That's what I want to do. But we press go live anyway. We got there. I'm fucking here now. Do you know what I mean? I can always do all that stuff afterwards. Always do afterwards. Do you know what I mean? Dish towel, hot water, squeeze it all out, put the towel on the affected area. I'll have to see what I can do. See what I can do with that. Do you know what I mean? White tiger balm is epic, but green Thai balm is the dog's danglies. Miles better. I've never come across green Thai balm, although I have had a green Thai curry before, and that was excellent. That was, so if it's anything like that, then it must be excellent, you know? The cold crushers mice put in a plastic bag and add about an ounce of rubbing alcohol. I don't have any rubbing alcohol. I've got vodka. Will that help? Will that work? And put it in the freezer until it turns to slush. Make sure you put a towel or something in between the ice pack and your skin, though. Right, okay. Okay. Hot and cold compresses. Right, I got you. And there's a beautiful tiny little chapel in Essex called St. Mary's at Munden. And across the field is a petrified forest of about half a dozen totally dead trees. And the story goes that there were witches there. Ooh, St. Mary's at Munden, dead trees. St. Mary's at Munden. Munden? Munden. Dead trees. I'm not seeing any images. I'm not seeing any images of the dead trees. Maybe if I just type out, get rid of St. Mary Munden dead trees. Not coming up with any Google images, I'm afraid. I'm good about that. Never mind. I'll have to check them out later. Now stealing the dog's danglies? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like version of respectful company. Why would you be polite here, Sweepy Hamster? Come on now. It does. Talk about deviance and fisting. We have that black mug too. Too small for me though. Hamster needs a pint of tea. No, I like these ones. I like these ones because normally by the time I've drank the entire thing, it's still warm. It's like the perfect hand size, hand feel. I've got a couple of mugs that are like this shape. And I've never really been into like, these are my mugs before. But that one is very much one of them, for sure. For sure. Seems getting an interesting time. How's it going, Painted Lady? How you doing? How's it going? Wasn't Dragon Shaft's music then? No, it wasn't. I can't remember who the artist was. I genuinely can't remember. It was definitely a like a prog rock band, a progressive rock band, you know. How's it going, Taken? How you doing? What's good? I have held a piece of information for over a week, and it's a game suggestion. How do I do that again?
Hand it to my ego. Hand it to it. Hand it to it.
Valen, my last week sucked hard, so I need something to cheer me up. Which bear is the most condescending? A pan. Duh.
Thank you very much, Europe, Papa, for the 100 little pound rings. But I know full well that the cheering up there was not even the joke. It was entirely my reaction to it. You little shit. Thank you very much for the 100 little pound rings. And I'm gutted to hear you've had a shit week of things. Gutted to hear you've had a shit week of things. Hopefully this coming week will be much better for you, you beautiful bean. Yeah, how you doing? How's it going? There you go, Taken. That is the game suggestion list, as it were. I've downloaded, I've bought a couple of new games that we're going to be throwing into the vote. For those people that don't know, I play games on Tuesday afternoons and Wednesday afternoons. And what we're doing, we're trying it out for the beginning of the year. Every single Tuesday and Wednesday, I pick 5 games and we chat for about an hour-ish. And then I give the vote to the community. I pick those 5 games. I show you what they all look like, so you get a bit of an idea for the vibes of them. And the community, whoever is here on that day, gets to decide whether we play, like, what we play of those 5 games. I can go back to being a vegetable. That is entirely fair. What was the game, Taken? Out of pure interest, what was the game? We're currently playing through... well, I say we're playing through. If the votes come out tomorrow and Wednesday, then we'll potentially be continuing Firewatch on Tuesday and potentially be continuing Still Wakes the Deep on Wednesday, if that's what people want. You know what I mean? Tormented Souls 2. Do I have to play Tormented Souls 1? Is that a thing? Tormented. I feel like I've seen this game. I have seen this game. This was the one that was like... I've seen people play the first one, Tormented Souls 1, which was... It's very Silent Hill-esque, isn't it? It's very Silent Hill-esque. You know? Could not matter less, but the second one, okay. All right. Kind of in the same way that the Silent Hill and Resident Evil games and stuff like that work. It's just like... They're not entirely sure. You don't need to have played the other ones to make it all work. You can just work with it. Do you know what I mean? You can just work with it. Where was I? There. 9 Inch Nails Hesitation Marks is that kind of album. Ticks all those boxes. Yeah, I used to have a Fuck Me playlist, which was a playlist that I put on for the sweet art of fucking. But when I can't remember, I did have it on Spotify, and I moved away from Spotify, and I can't find it again. So I've been trying to remake it, because I use YouTube Music now, because I'm already a YouTube Premium subscriber, because I fucking hate adverts, and when I'm playing background music like I am today, it's good to not have adverts. So, yeah, a lot of the benefits. I just make a new YouTube playlist. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You don't walk home with a stiffy, you go pole vaulting with a stiffy. This is true. Actually, I just spring around like Zebedee from the Magic Roundabout. Do you know what I mean? Quicker walking home with 3 legs. You people vastly overestimate my capabilities. Are you saying that we can find a sweet spot between fainting and arousal, and treat ED with horror films like stimuli and blood circulation, audio visual Viagra, VR Viagra? Yes. I am saying you could experiment with it, but I'm not confirming or denying anything, because I genuinely have got no idea. Genuinely got no idea, Fagoth. All right. That's to brighten your day. All of you are brightening my day by being here. I appreciate you. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate you. The reason you're feeling so meh today is Blue Monday. It's the idea that the third Monday in January is the most depressing Monday of the most depressing day of the year, because several gloomy factors are said to hit at once: winter darkness, the cold and post-Christmas money worries, fading New Year's resolutions, and low motivation. That's really interesting. That's genuinely very interesting, Sweet Beams. I had not even considered anything to do with like money or New Year's resolutions or anything like that. Because I will say that my like resolution, my whole getting back to square one in 2026, it's actually going pretty well. It's actually going pretty well. I'm doing well. Well, you people have helped me do very, very well with helping pay off debt and stuff. I've been going through a whole load of stuff and binning shitloads of my house. So yeah, it's not doing too badly by any stretch of the imagination. But definitely the darkness, definitely the cold. Yeah, they're definitely paying effects to it. I think for me as well, it's just the pain that I am currently in, because I'm not used to, like, I know that people with like chronic pain will suffer what I am suffering a lot more than I do. I am not by any stretch of imagination enviable of their position. Jesus Christ, no. But I'm not used to feeling this. I'm not used to feeling this at all. So it's just a struggle, you know. It's a struggle. Greed Time Balm is made by Wang Prom. Get it on eBay? Well, shit. I think the problem with that, like, I've got Tiger Balm upstairs from when I was a pole dancer. I would be apprehensive about ordering something like that new when I'm literally going to have this pain for like a couple of days. Do you know what I mean? Very lucky in that regard.
It's a raid. Flee.
Oh, my lordy, ladies and gentlemen, Lord James outside between delve deep into your beds of popcorn and throw them at the raiders. Throw them at these cheeky devils. Look at these people coming in here. I mean, really, could you even imagine who do they think they are? The absolute audacity, the scandal, the preposterousness.
Oh, you follow.
Ah, Iris.
You little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful bean. I don't like to call people out just in case they're lurking, but you are very welcome here. How you doing, Eris? How's it going, you beautiful individual? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Just discovered it's Blue Monday today. Can I open that in a separate thing? I can't. Never mind. I'll do it slightly differently then. Welcome on in, you beautiful individuals. Friends, if you happen to be new here, two things you need to know about this channel. One, you're not allowed to apologize. Instead of saying sorry, try saying thank you. Instead of saying sorry, I'm late, say thanks for waiting. Instead of saying sorry, I'm such a burden, say thanks for being there for me. It'll make you a much more positive individual. Two, if you're under the age of 18, I have to ask you to leave. For I'm a colossal filth wizard, and I'll be corrupting the ears of the young people from my stream. You know Eris. You know Eris. Eris is a wonderful, wonderful human being, a long-time member of this community who is a glorious and spectacular and supportive and just generally a gem of a human being. They are mildly obsessed with ancient Egypt, mildly obsessed with Assassin's Creed. Although you were playing Fallout 4 today. How was Fallout 4? Is it your first time playing it? What were you up to today? What are we up to today? Binks, welcome on in, you cheeky little devil. Thank you very much for the follow. Now you've said hello to us, I can say thank you very much for the follow, but I don't like to call people out in case they're lurking, you know? You know? Mildly obsessed. Mildly obsessed. Like, it's just a little bit of a fixation in their life. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But welcome on in, friends. I am Valen Vane, Vane by name, Vane by nature, deep as a puddle in summer. I'm currently a bit, it's Blue Monday today, as I've just discovered. I'm just feeling a bit, but today is one of those, I talk about it a lot. Today is one of those days where, I really struggled to press go live, but I did it. I still fucking did it. Still did it. And, the community is making me much, much happier. But I do have a little bit of pain going on. I've got like a pinched nerve in my spine, which is just causing me a bit of an issue going on. Do you know what I mean? But we're doing all right. We're doing okay. We're persevering through, you know. That's what I was doing. I was trying to get the link that Sweepy Hamster threw out there, even though you're not meant to be able to get links through to me. Apparently you did. Whatever. Oh my fucking god. Piss off. That's what we're looking at. The petrified oaks. We'll have a look at it in a second. Thank you very much for sending me that link. I will check it out in a second. Hans, how you doing? How's it going? Professional Lurkess here. My lurking consists mostly of me using Twitch as entertainment while sewing and thus having my hands kind of full. Entirely fair. Well, in which case, thank you so much for coming out of lurk to say hello. I appreciate that. If you would like to go back into lurk, you are obviously very, very welcome to do so. I appreciate you saying hello. I appreciate you saying hello. All of you beautiful lurkers, I appreciate you being here. There's a weird thing going on with Twitch and obviously not counting lurkers and shit like that. I don't know where any of it's true. There's just a lot of rumors going around and certain potential evidence backing it all up, which is the reason why we have a channel point redeem that I think is like 10 channel points or what have you, where you can literally redeem lurking. I will not call you out. It just helps you interact with the chat, which means that Twitch goes, oh, this person is actually lurking and paying attention. Cool. So yeah. How you doing, Europapa? How's it going? Oh, you've had a shit week. Well, I hope that we can bring a little bit of joy to the rest of your week. Do you know what I mean? Last week did a job. I thought I was gonna get, did not get, was not happy about it. That sounds fucking annoying as shit. That sounds annoying as shit, Europapa. Hopefully this week you'll get more entertainment and enjoyment out of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Why did the golfer bring extra pants in case he got a hole in one? God damn it, Tunackers. God damn it. Good lord. Still Wakes the Deep is so good. Yeah, we played like I think about a third of it on last Wednesday. It will be back in the vote again this Wednesday. If people would like to see more of it, then they can vote on it on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm putting what games we play entirely in the hands of the people that turn up. So if people are here for the streams on Tuesday and Wednesday, then you will get the ability to vote on what game we play. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I really fucking enjoyed Still Wakes the Deep on Wednesday, but it will be entirely up to you whether I keep playing it or not, you know? How's it going, Kindred? How you doing, you beautiful individual? I'm having a bit of a meh day today. We all have them. But today's been one of those days. I blame the fact that there's been fuck all sunlight. It's fucking freezing, and my spine is causing me an issue. As a result, I'm just... It's not even like... I'm not in like a bad mood. I'm not in a negative place or anything like that. I've just... there's just a lot of things that I need to do, because I'm a very, very busy individual. There's a lot of things that I need to do. And today's just been one of those days where I'm just like, do you know what? I don't give a shit. I just don't care about the things that I need to do. I don't... there's no aspect of me that thinks it's important enough to care about. I would much rather just sit in bed and watch movies all day. Do you know what I mean? But I can't do that. So it's been hard to motivate myself today. But chat are making it much better. As they know how to do. Bob Bushman, hello, you beautiful individual. Bought that 30 minutes ago on sale at the moment. Yes, very, very good. Is it 75? Is it Still Wakes the Deep 75% off at the moment? Still Wakes the Deep. It is. And Siren's Rest is 25% off. Siren's Rest being the DLC. Add to cart. Remove from cart, because if I buy it by itself for some reason it's more expensive, whereas if I buy it as part of the pack it's £7.49 if I buy Siren's Rest by itself. If I buy it with Still Wakes the Deep, which I already own, then it's £6.37. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Good fucking lord. I'm buying it right now. I don't even give a shit anymore. I have bought the complete collection, but because I already own Still Wakes the Deep, It's just added it to my library. I also bought Crime Scene Cleaner as like a bit of a simulation game style thing. Because I would like to play some simulation games before we play the Love Hotel Simulator. Because my theory is the Love Hotel Simulator, okay, doesn't actually have any explicit content in it. And there are loads of other simulation games that involve murder, involve burglary, involve drug dealing. So my theory is if I play a couple of other simulator games that involve illegal activities, and then I play the Love Hotel Simulator, if I get in trouble with Twitch, then I will cry hypocrisy and slander and prejudice against sex workers. And I will kick up a fucking fuss. Because sex workers are always, there's always a lot of prejudice against them. And they are the only people that are doing everything consenting and legally and doing everything they can to you know, have their profession be in good standing. So, yeah, that's my argument. That's my argument. Look up Empress Shah. It'll cheer you up. What is it, Fagoth? Well, Empress Star? What is that? What is that, friend? It's like my 4th game playing Fallout 4, doing a lot of lore hunting this go around. Oh, your 4th playthrough, not your 4th stream of it. Your 4th playthrough of Fallout 4. Ooh, interesting, interesting. I have played a bit of Fallout 1. In fact, you know what? I haven't played a bit of Fallout 1. I have played a bit of Fallout 2. I've played a lot of Fallout 3. I've played a little bit of New Vegas. And then I got bored. I love the universe. I love the world. But it's such a huge game that I would struggle to, like, stay on top of it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? To be fair, Eris and I have the same sort of love for Assassin's Creed. I got bored of Assassin's Creed. We've talked about this before, but I got bored. I enjoyed 1. I enjoyed 2. I enjoyed 2.2. And then I bailed. I couldn't keep going. I couldn't keep going. Do you know what I mean? Recently had one of those. Yeah, everyone has a meh day. Even I'm a fucking unreasonably optimistic individual about 99% of the life, the universe, and everything. Do you know what I mean? But even I have my days where I'm like, just don't give a shit. Do you know what I mean? Don't think mine is due to Blue Monday. It would be my dad's 54th birthday, so the brain wheels are being rude. That is completely understandable. That is completely understandable, you beautiful being. Yep, sending hugs, absolutely. Astacon, what the fuck is that? What are all of those letters, Astacon? What are they? Are they code? Are you trying to hack into my brain? Are you trying to hack into my brain being like, yes, Val and Vane, do things? Do you smell toast? No, unfortunately. Cat on the keyboard? Alas, no. It's just Astacon. It's just Astacon speaking in code. It's face rolling. You are literally rolling your face over the keyboard. Amazing. Amazing. Love that. Love that. With puns, sounds like your day has been perfectly described by Sir Terry Pratchett's word, an embuggerance. I like that. I like that. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty accurate way of doing it. Do you know what I mean? We replied to made me smell burnt toast. Oh my lordy. Valve math. Good lord. Give the game to somebody? No, I have the game. I have the game, but when you have something in your Steam library already, like for example, so I've just bought the Still Wakes the Deep complete collection, which is Still Wakes the Deep and the DLC for Still Wakes the Deep. But because I already owned the Still Wakes the Deep was already in my library, it just removes it from the collection and gives me the other part of the collection for apparently £1.30 cheaper or what have you. Very unusual. Very unusual. Don't fully understand it, but okay. Probably one game key. I have Crime Scene Cleaner. It's fun. Yeah, I saw Finley Shortstuff play it. I was watching Finley Shortstuff play it many moons ago. And it seemed like one of the simulation games that I would probably enjoy. I'm quite bad at simulation games because I get bored very easily. But I feel like before I play something like Love Hotel Simulator on stream, I feel like I should probably ease my way in. Do you know what I mean? I should probably do a little bit of foreplay with simulation games before I throw in something like that onto Twitch. Foreplay, never gotten lore, etc. So I'm making it my goal to lore hunt so I can understand it better. Okay, cool. I do enjoy the lore around all of the different vaults and what they were all about. That's quite fun. I have to say. For sure. Aren't they bringing out a Fallout 5 sometime soon? He says apprehensively. Not entirely sure whether that's the case or not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking out my ass. No worries, Druid Estimate. You do your thing, you beautiful bean. Generally, of course, don't want to ruin my laptop. Absolutely. I've realized that if I'm going to do more traveling in 2027, which I want to do. I want to do more videoing and vlogging and traveling in 2027. 2026 is my getting back to square one thing. 2027, I want to get out and do more. But it does mean that I'm going to need a pretty good fucking laptop in order to take you all with me as part of that. So yeah, I'm gonna need to get a half decent laptop going forward, you know. Bid you all good night. No worries, Vithka. You take it easy, beautiful bean. How's it going, Ahara? How you doing, cheeky little devil? You beautiful wizard. I try my very, very best. I mean, I'm a wizard in pain currently, but doing okay. Doing all right. Just trying to keep my spine moving a little bit. Ease that pain off a tiny little bit, you know. Pinched my nerve. There was a game I wanted. The deluxe edition game was on sale. The original wasn't. I didn't really want the art book or soundtrack, but I wanted the game. Was the deluxe edition cheaper than the normal game, Milky Pork, because the deluxe edition was on sale? Was that the scenario? Do you know what I mean? I would love an FO5. Is that a type of laptop, Aeon Unleashed? Like a type of laptop? I don't know anything about laptops at all. Milky Pork, that is like, oh, Fallout 5. You would love a Fallout 5. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is Fallout 4 a good game? I'd heard that Fallout 4 was slated by fans of the Fallout franchise. Or was that Fallout 76? Could have been Fallout 76. Fallout 4 is reasonable in your opinion. Okay, interesting. Eventually, maybe if Bethesda decides to, yeah. Remaster of 3 and New Vegas are rumored to be happening. That would make sense. It's been that fucking long since they were out. It makes sense that you would, especially as they are definitely the most popular games of the franchise. It makes sense that they would want to revamp them for sure. 76 was absolutely panned. Yeah, I heard that 76 was meant to be like the MMO because of the fact, and the idea was that only players were going to be the mortals, and everything else was going to be bots. And then because there was so few people that joined the MMO initially, they were like, "There's no fucking human beings around. What the actual fuck? What is going on right now?" Only 3 in New Vegas are best. I don't know. I enjoyed 2. And 1 is apparently iconic, you know. To the point where when Fallout 1 came around, the OG turn-based Fallout 1 came around, a friend of mine who had a dog called Dog loved the game so much, loved Fallout, the OG Fallout so fucking much, that he wrote an entire roleplay rule system around Fallout. He went into Fallout, he was a computer nerdy programmer person, so he absolutely was like, right, let's go into the coding and work out how the RNG works, whether it's like what dice system it is based on effectively, and he wrote an entire Fallout game, like tabletop roleplay game based on the rule system of Fallout 1. And I played a character called Pretty Boy, who was very, very aesthetically pleasing and carried a spade as a weapon of choice. Pretty Boy! And everybody used to refer to him as Pretty Boy! Hey, Pretty Boy! Every time. Every time. Fallout 4 is a good game, but it's not a good Fallout game. Interesting. Why do you say that without giving away... Actually, do you know what? I was about to say without giving away spoilers. You know, without giving away spoilers, because I know that Eris is doing a lore run at the moment. Why do you say that Fallout 4 is a good game, but not a good Fallout game? Because when you say that, my mind immediately goes to the movie Prometheus, which was a fantastic science fiction movie, but a terrible alien movie. Great sci-fi movie, terrible alien movie. You know? You've not played 76. I know that Sir Hannah is quite a fan of 76. A lot of people didn't like it, but I did. 76 was terrible when it started, but they've made it a lot better lately. Okay. So it's better now that they've like progressed it and updated it and added extra stuff. Okay, cool. Recently I had pinched nerve in my neck, found out I have some bulging discs. Oh, fucking hell, Binks. I get this every so often. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen every so often. Normally it just takes a lot of stretching and rolling my spine and separating out the discs as much as possible. As much as possible, you know? Pretty good way to describe it, yeah. Fallout 4 is just okay. I'm still a Fallout 3 fan. First game I stayed up till 3 a.m. playing ever. Yeah. I remember playing Fallout 3 for many hours when I played it on a friend's like fucking console back on the day. Do I even have it on my Steam? It will be in dystopian, if anything. Oh, I've got Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout 3, the Game of the Year edition. Fucking, I own Fallout 4. Never played it. Don't know anything about it. Fallout New Vegas, Fallout Tactics. I think I bought a Fallout package. I think at some stage the Fallout package came on sale and I just went, fuck it, I'll just buy them all. I would imagine that's probably the reason why I own them all. Because I didn't even realize I owned them all. But apparently I own them all. Apparently I own them all. Never mind. There we go. Oh, it's the whole thing. Don't care about spoilers, to be honest. I know a smidge already, so if there are some spoilers, I won't mind. Love that. Okay, cool. In which case, let me know what's going on there, Milky Pork. Prometheus was neither, and I'll fight you naked on an anthill over this. You see, I have to disagree, Classic Gary. I think that Prometheus, as a science fiction movie, just purely as a science fiction movie, was a very, very interesting concept. The idea of like going back and seeing like fucking ancient aliens and shit and all that jazz. It was like, it's an interesting concept. As soon as they put it in the Alien universe, as soon as they put it in the Xenomorph universe, it went from an alright movie, an alright science fiction movie, I enjoyed the science fiction movie. As soon as they put it in the Alien movie, in the Alien universe, I was like, this is garbage. This is hot garbage. This is worse than Alien Resurrection. And that says a lot. That says a lot. All right. A lot of aspects that have been set up in the previous games that are well regarded by fans of the Fallout games, and Fallout 4 changes for one reason or another. Okay. Interesting. I see. So they've basically taken lore that was like established, like written in stone in the old versions, and just thrown it to the fucking wind. Is that what you're saying for Fallout 4? They're rewriting shit. They're doing a Star Wars. Is that what you're telling me, Milky Pork? They're doing a Star Wars where they're just rewriting shit because they're like, well, fuck it, we'll change it. We don't need to worry about all the lore that's happened in the previous iterations of this universe because we can just rewrite it as we fucking see fit. Fuck it, doesn't matter. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what's going on? that what's happening? Because they shagged fucking Star Wars because of that. PC version of 3 is so broken, I hate it. I want to play Fallout 3, it just won't work. Ah, well, do you know what? Everyone's told me, jump into the tech section or the gamer section of the Discord and ask people. This community are so full of tech heads, it's unreal. I'm sure somebody will be able to help you, like, find the mods or the patches or what have you that you need in order to get it to work on your PC. I'm sure somebody will be able to do it. I have gained a lot from this community in regards to tech help, so I encourage you to ask people, you know? I love what they wanted to do with Fallout 4, but New Vegas is my favorite next to Fallout 2. Interesting. I struggled with New Vegas, I have to admit. I think, and do you know what? This is really fucking weird. This is really fucking weird. But I think the reason why I struggled with New Vegas is because it was beige and not green. And if you've played Fallout 3 and you've played New Vegas, you'll know what I mean by that. It was beige and it wasn't green. And green ticks boxes in my brain and beige didn't. Struggle with that one, but it's true. It's true. I have never cared for Fallout. Felt Fallout 3 was just Oblivion with a brown filter. Fallout 4 was just boring. I fell asleep 2 hours in and never played it since. That's fair. That's fair. Sometimes it just doesn't tick the boxes, Bob Bushman. So I get it. I get it. Absolutely. And I know what you mean about Fallout 3 being Oblivion with a brown filter. It was definitely post-apocalyptic Elder Scrolls. In the way that it plays. It's open world post-apocalyptic Elder Scrolls. Do you know what I mean? However, that ticked a lot of boxes for me. Specifically because of that reason. Because I was like, cool, this is a post-apocalyptic world that I can go full Elder Scrolls on it. Fucking yes. On board it. That ticked boxes for me, for sure. Prometheus is not an Alien movie. It does, unfortunately, is. But that is the case of things. That is the case of things, do you know what I mean? Needs mods just to launch at this point. That's fucking annoying. That is annoying. Return, how are things? All right, my back is twinging quite painfully. Well, I say my back, my arse cheek. My left arse cheek, right the way down to just behind my knee, is causing me quite a frustration. But other than that, we're doing all right. Other than that, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. You know what I mean? Maracas Coleman, how you doing? 100% being in the Alien universe drags it down so much. Yes. Like, I genuinely think that Prometheus would be an enjoyable sci-fi movie if it wasn't in the Alien universe. You know? In exactly the same way that Alien Romulus was a phenomenal movie until the last 15-20 minutes of it. Fucking loved the entire movie until the last 15-20 minutes of it. And then I was like, well, now it's garbage. Funnily enough, no, I can't say that. I can't say that in case of spoilers. But yeah, the last 15-20 minutes of Alien Romulus, I was just like, why? Why have you added this in? Why have you done this? Prometheus and Alien Covenant have dumb exploratory biologists. They repeated the foolishness, let alone that alone is a total void, and I have to shower, so I'm sorry. I will be AFK for the response. Big kisses. That's all right. That's all right. You don't have to apologize for showering. Good lord, no. Well, I'll wait for you to respond, and then you return, and then I'll kick off. Can't claim if they're doing a Star Wars, and I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'd say they're doing an Assassin's Creed. I mean, I don't know enough about Assassin's Creed to understand that. All I know about Assassin's Creed is they copy-pasted the entire thing over and over and over again. With unrealistic historical facts, in my personal opinion. That's just Bethesda being Bethesda. They went from making proper games to just making games that would sell the most amount of copies. Yep, sounds about right. Sounds about right, but I don't know any company that doesn't do the same. Not even like gaming company, just company in general. They all do the same. They all do the same shit. Do you know what I mean? Also drags down the xenomorphs themselves. Part of their appeal is their mystery. Are they sapiens or just beasts? Are they artificial or natural? Do you know what, Maracas? I personally prefer the animated novel. The animated novel Origins of the xenomorphs is excellent. Absolutely fucking excellent. I can tell you this because I don't think anyone's going to go into the animated novels and stuff like that and read through them all, because I've read them and it's fucking great. So as you go through the animated novels, you learn like more and more about the xenomorphs and their relationship to the predator species and stuff like that. And effectively, what they are is they are a general hive species on a planet that is so hostile, so unbelievably hostile, that every creature on the planet is like a predator. Every creature, every plant, every animal, every flora and fauna on the planet is a predator. And the xenomorph is purely one of the many species, one of the many horrifically deadly species on that planet. And has evolved to have acid for blood, has evolved to be horrifically deadly, has evolved to be that fucking deadly. Do you know what I mean? And the predator species found them and went, this is the greatest thing that we can do. We can hunt everything on this planet because everything's so fucking deadly. And the more that we hunt on this planet, the more honor we get. And when they discovered that actually the xenomorph species is a parasitic species, they were like, are you fucking shitting me? We can take the eggs, which are easily transportable, go to other solar systems, go to other planets, and create even deadlier prey for us to hunt and gain the honor from the hunt of these things. We're gonna fucking do that. So the reason why the xenomorph species is so fucking deadly is because it evolved on one of the most hostile planets in existence in the universe. And the reason why it is fucking everywhere is because the predator species went, well, shit, we can make even deadlier prey. Let's take it to other places and see what it does. See what it does on intelligent species. See what it does on horrifically aggressive species and territorial species. Let's see what it does, you know? Because the predator species only cares about the hunt. It only cares about the hunt. The hunt is the most important thing across everything. Every aspect of their entire civilization is based around the hunt, you know? So yeah. So yeah, the whole thing, going back to your thing, Maracas, about it dragging the xenomorphs down. I think it drags down the premise of Prometheus. The whole dynamic of it being like, oh, there was this architect species who designed everything because we don't believe in God. We believe in aliens that made every single aspect of their entire thingy. Yeah, we're going to do that. That's going to be the best way we can do this. Brings down the entire universe. It fucks the entire universe. In my personal opinion, I think it is the shittest thing that they ever decided to do. And unfortunately, every single Alien movie since Prometheus has been ruined because of the Prometheus storyline. Every single one. Every single one. Because they're like, oh shit, we now have to adhere to the Prometheus storyline, which means we have to get involved these fucking weird architects. We've got to get involved this alien goo that makes everything a xenomorph. It's just like, why have you done this? Why have you done this? The whole universe was cool as shit until you decided that you needed to fucking explain it. Stop being cunts. Anyway, you know. Did I miss the crypt story? You did miss the crypt story. TLDR went into a crypt underneath a big fuck off church that's 200 years old, so it's quite a young church for UK standards. There was two things that unnerved me. One was one of the crypts looked like it had been broken out of because it was like big archways that were like bricked up, and one where the bricks had like fallen out into the corridor, which freaked me out a little bit. I liked it. I enjoyed my ass quivering. Do you know what I mean? And then another bit where there was a giant sort of sign across one of the crypts that was written, that had been mortared, and like in the mortar somebody had written J-U-L as in July, and it says do not open. And I was like, what the fuck is going on there? Is there an ancient Egyptian mummy? Is there a vampire, 2,000-year-old vampire? What the fuck is going on? And my dad was like, it's probably more likely that it was, that's where they buried, like, the victims of typhoid or some other particularly heinous, contagious disease. So, yeah, that's where that is. That's where that is. I'm the polar opposite, beige over green any day. Yeah, I think the reason why I liked Fallout 3 over New Vegas was because Fallout 3 felt darker and dingier. It felt like this post-apocalyptic gothic universe for me, whereas Fallout New Vegas felt too bright. It felt too bright and airy. Didn't tick boxes for me. I like the darkness. I like the dark, you know. Thank you so much for all you beautiful people that are using your lurk commands, by the way. I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. The 10 biddies, 10 channel points, excuse me, for your lurk commands. I appreciate that. Fallout is an odd one. It should be absolutely everything I should love, but somehow there isn't a single thing that I find interesting about Fallout. Do you know what, Bob Bushman? I kind of felt that way about Stranger Things. And before anybody goes on about Stranger Things, I don't give a shit. No spoilers. I watched 2 episodes of Stranger Things, and it should tick all of my boxes. Cosmic horror, 1980s synthwave, Dungeons and Dragons, weird ass shit happening in a real gothic sort of way, like this creepy retro gothic cosmic horror sort of way. It should tick every single box of mine. Couldn't get into it. Just could not get into it for some unknown reason. And I know that apparently the season finale is absolutely horrific. Bear with me, friends. Okay. Yeah. Sure. That's all right. All sorted. Definitely sounds like you've caught your sciatic nerve. Look up sciatica. It's a common complaint. I think my mother had sciatica. Maybe that's the thing. It's all right. I'll just stretch out. It'll be fine. I've had this before. It'll be all right. And Bill, my girlfriend's pizza, it on paper has the things that make a good pizza, but she always ends up making something that feels more like meatloaf on a flatbread with a bit of cheese. That's wild. Or Bushman. That is wild. Although saying that, I've never tried to make my own pizza, so I can't. I refuse to offer an opinion on that because I don't know how difficult it is to make. There's an emote I remember. Yeah, Potato Justice. Astacon has come to join us. Yes. Assassin's Creed even says it's historical fiction, so like, oh, I know it's historical fiction. It's just completely unbelievable historical fiction. Eric's told me we have had this conversation many, many times. The assassins from the Hashashin completely understand that. The idea of them going to Rome because of like the Apple of Eden and the church and stuff like that, and where the Templars are and stuff like that, I can believe that with a stretch. As soon as they started being like, by the way, Native Americans are also assassins, I was like, okay, this is bullshit. This makes no logical sense. Even in my dream of dreams, I can't understand how you can stretch to Native Americans being connected to an assassin order of Western Asia. Do you know what I mean? Also, on top of that, they're also Vikings. Like, I even would have understood if they'd have gone for like a Ninja Creed thing. If they'd have gone over to like the ninja realms and stuff like that. I could have understood that. I'd have been like, okay, it's a bit different, but at least they're kind of similar in the way that they work and stuff like that. But as soon as they start going fucking native peoples of America, before America had even been like, oh, I mean, at that time it had, but you know, like just fucking, we don't talk about Valhalla. Apparently Valhalla's fucking amazing. So I don't understand why you don't talk about Valhalla. Valhalla's the same. Viking assassins. What the fuck are you talking about? Viking berserkers completely understand. Assassins, what the fuck are you talking about? It didn't make enough sense for me to believe in it. Every time that the dynamic hit, every time the conversation came up, I was like, well, now I just cannot immerse myself in this universe because it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Even in a historical fiction dynamic, it just doesn't fucking add up. Even Assassin's Creed Origins, which is set in ancient Egypt, which I fucking love ancient Egypt, doesn't make sense. That's a bit more, it makes slightly more sense in the regards of, okay, it's where it all began and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I can kind of understand how it would start there and evolve onto something else and what have you. But Jesus Christ, fuck my life. There's so many of them that it's just like, what, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't, the immersion is completely fucking broken for me purely by the fact that it doesn't logically add up, you know? The predators are such pricks. Oh, they definitely are maracas. They definitely are. The predator species is awful, and which is the reason why it annoys me so fucking much when you get the movies like AVP and all the new Predator movie Badlands. I haven't even fucking seen it. I have seen the trailer to it, and I'm like, he's not acting like the predator creature is not acting like a predator. It makes no sense why he would be doing these things based on their entire species. They're all about the hunt. Why would he suddenly start making friends with a fucking android? Do you know what I mean? There's only one Predator movie. No, there isn't. Predator 2. I fucking love Predator 2. I love Predator 2 because you get to see more of the lore behind it. You get to see a little bit more of like the species of the Predator and how they work and stuff like that, which I do enjoy. But since then they've just fucked them. I would love to see a good Predator movie. I just don't think it can be done anymore because the franchise has been shagged. You would need to get... Do you know what? I think if maybe the director and the writers that wrote Alien Romulus wrote a Predator movie and made it an 18 and not a fucking 15, then that is definitely a possibility. That is a possibility. But they would need to cut out everything to do with the Prometheus movie. Do you know what I mean? Kiara, how you doing? How's it going? I only watched the 90s movie. I love the OG Predator movie, but it's a science fiction action movie. Predator 2 is a fun idea, and you get to see more of the Predator species, which is what I like about them, but then they just fuck it from that point onwards, really. The usual rule that I have, anytime you have a franchise that is 18 plus and then you make it into a 15, it's immediately going to be shit. Immediately. One particularly non-spoilery thing that Fallout 4 changes is the dialogue system. Generally, conversations had a variety of options leading you through branching conversation. Fallout 4 changes this to 4 options, most of which lead to the same outcome. Oh, that's pretty shit. That's lazy. That's lazy writing, Milky Pork. I can understand why that's frustrating. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pixie Bomb coming in with 180 stream streak. Jesus Christ. I'm so cold that my nips could cut glass. My heating has been boosted. I've added extra heating because I was too warm and then I was too cold. And I've got pain in my spine. So it's a whole thing, you know. There's a concept, some science fiction stories where humans are the 10 out of 10 deadliest. And the Earth itself is a hellscape for the species. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. There was a premise that I came up with many moons ago when it was like, okay, why are there no aliens? Why have aliens not come to Earth? Why have we not seen any aliens? And I was like, I wonder what if human beings were the most advanced species in the entire galaxy? What if we were the most advanced? Like, as we are like steadily building rockets and working out how space travel works and shit like that, other species on other planets are still just crawling out of the primordial soup. It'd be really interesting to see a movie like that, I would imagine, at some stage. You know what I mean? The Disney Three Musketeers is one of my favorite movies. Fair enough. I don't know anything about it. I've seen an awful lot of Three Musketeers movies, and I can't remember which ones are Disney ones. Cannot remember which ones are Disney ones. Also funny that the Predators hunt to court females, and they need trophies to convince the much larger and more capable females of the species they are worth breeding. Yes, 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 yes. It is a matriarchal system, which I fucking love about the Predator universe. There is also one human, and this fucked me off. This really, really annoyed me. Okay, so there is one human being who is a woman, who was accepted by the Predator species, and accepted to a point where they basically kidnapped her and took her back to the Predator homeworld to train her like the Predator species. One human woman, and it really fucking annoys me because in AVP, in the original Alien vs Predator movie, that woman becomes like accepted and she gets the hunting mark and everything like that, and I'm like, they have taken this really good science fiction novel and shat all over it. Everyone who has read the science fiction novel about that woman who has been taken and accepted by the Predators will be up in arms about this entire fucking storyline. I know, because I was fucking livid. And the reason why, like, she killed so many other things and survived it all, and that was the reason why she was accepted by the Predators. It wasn't just a, well done, you've killed a xenomorph, oh, by the way, I'm now accepting you as one of my clan. Oh. It was like, you have survived an entire alien infestation, killed predators, killed xenomorphs, killed an alien queen. Ripley would have been accepted by the Predator species. Do you know what I mean? You need to be that level of fucking badass with the Predators watching you to find out how well you do for you to be taken as like accepted as part of the like a valuable hunter. And they're like, oh, by the way, you killed one xenomorph. Well done. Well done you. Well done you. Congratulations. Well done you. Fucking stupid. Boils my fucking goat. I'm just surprised that we ended up watching all the Alien movies last year, except Alien vs Predator movies. Kiara, at some stage, I have committed, I've asked Chunk whether he'd be up for this, but I've committed that I would like to watch every single Alien movie in chronological order. As in chronological in universe, not as in when the movie itself was released. I want to watch it, annoyingly, from Prometheus right the way through the entire franchise, to see if it makes sense, to see whether it changes anything, any perspectives, any ideas. I want to watch it in chronological order so that I can understand what's going on in the universe and see if it changes anything in that way of things. You know what I mean? You know? Always thought that it was weird, like, why have the same storyline? Yeah. They did a Metachlorians on it. Do you know what, Hewan? They did. I never really fucking thought about it, but they pretty much did, yeah. Prometheus brought in, it wasn't like Metachlorians as in they're always available in the universe, but it was like there is a virus or a goo. They basically, the architects made their own primordial ooze, but it was primordial ooze that can change everything. So fucking stupid. How did you feel about Prey though, Valen? Prey movie. Just reminding myself which one that was. Was that the Predator movie with Native Americans in it? Because if so, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that one. I know there is a Predator movie with Native Americans in it, but I have not seen it. I have not seen it in a similar way to like I kind of don't really give a shit. If that makes sense. It's like I don't really care. They fucked over the predator species so much, so annoyingly much that I kind of don't really care. I did watch the one where they had they dropped a load of like mercenaries onto a jungle planet. That one was more acceptable than any of the Alien vs Predator movies, but still pretty cheesy. Still pretty cheesy, you know. How many channel points for another passionate rant like that, Van? I love when people flex their special interest. Oh, it'll happen more often than not, to be honest with you, Sweepy Hamster. It'll happen quite a lot. All you got to do is get me talking about something that I'm passionate about, and I'll fucking go off on one. Absolutely. Sharp Abba Vein by the gut feeling Imhotep is just chilling in there. Possibly, Eris. Quite possibly. Chilling in a random crypt in Hull. Why not? Stranger Twinks. That'll definitely... There's got to be a porn parody of Stranger Things that's called Stranger Twinks. If not, then they've missed a trick. They have missed a fucking trick. You know? Watched the first season waiting for it to get good. Never got good. See, it ticks a lot of boxes. It ticks a lot of boxes that I would enjoy. But I just never got into it at all. Don't look it up because it is a thing. I've watched it before, but I came across the content. You haven't watched it before, but you came across it. What? Stranger Twinks? It is. It's a gay porn parody. Love it. Love it. Big fan of this. Very easy to make good pizza. I've been making my own since I was 10. Fucking A. Perfect. Love that. No opinion on homemade pizzas. Do you know what, Sembar? No, it wasn't no opinion on homemade pizzas. I can tell you right now that homemade pizzas can be absolutely fucking delicious. The one that Sembar made me was fucking delicious. Genuinely fucking delicious. I don't like to comment on the process of making a pizza from home, like from scratch, because I have never done it. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to turn around and be like, oh, it's got to be fucking easy, God, because I've never done it myself. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how easy or hard something is because I've never done it myself. Do you know what I mean? Excuse me. Assassin's Creed story is stolen from a Savinian book without crediting the writer. Really? At least the original 3 games. As in Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3, or as in Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 2.1. Because if so, that's really shit. We hate it when people don't credit the original authors, the original writers, the etc. Because it happens a hell of a lot. AC is heavily inspired. Assassin's Creed 1, the original Assassin's Creed, was heavily inspired by the book, but they didn't give credit for it. That's pretty shit. That's pretty fucking shit. Amazing gameplay. Yes. Assassin game. No. It's like Black Flag on steroids, in my opinion. Black Flag. Do you know what? Black Flag was a phenomenal pirate game. But much to agree with you there, Eris. Black Flag was not an Assassin's Creed game. Well, it was not an Assassin's game. Great pirate game. Terrible Assassin's game. Valhalla was not sneaky. It did not feel like an Assassin's Creed game at all, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've not seen it or played it. I don't have any interest in it. But I was like, why is there assassins in the Viking territories? What the fuck is it all about? They were all about glory. Glory and sitting in the halls of Valhalla, which required you to die via battle or sex. Do you know what I mean? Those were the prerequisites to sit in the halls of Valhalla. So why are there supposedly sneaky assassins? There's no honor in sneaking around. You know? Alamut by Vladimir Bartol. Interesting. I've heard the name Vladimir Bartol before. Maybe because you told me this bit of information before, Sembar, and I've just completely forgotten it. As a world building, I sincerely hope that someone will call me out of my shenanigans if I ever pull such nonsense. Yeah, I don't know. There's certain directors out there. I won't call any names out. But there are certain directors out there that are just like, yeah, I'm just going to keep rewriting shit because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about the lore. I don't give a shit about the fandom. I'm just going to keep changing things because I think it's cool as opposed to paying attention to what I've done in the past. To which, in my argument, do something that's not related to the universe. If you have written, like, a series of Alien movies that are fucking excellent and that you have a massive fandom around and you want to do another science fiction movie that has got that you want to basically ignore all of the lore that you've previously written, make a different science fiction movie. It doesn't have to be an Alien movie. In fact, by making it an Alien movie, you are basically just money grabbing. You're like, right, well, by making it an Alien movie, I've already got a captive audience, as opposed to, you know, doing the fucking Brave thing and making a brand new franchise. As someone who studied the lore and stuff, since the game story never really discusses it, I understand a smidge more. The whole franchise is just a clusterfuck. Yeah, happens a lot. Alamut is the novel by Vladimir Bartol, first published in 1938 in Slovenia, dealing with the story of Hassan I Sabah and the Hashashins, named after the Alamut fortress. The maxim of the novel is nothing is absolute reality. Nothing is absolute, all is permitted. Which is, oh, fucking hell, yeah. In which case, Senpai really is heavily inspired by. To a potentially plagiaristic dynamic. Do you know what I mean? It's great build up to mowing a jungle with... It's a great build up to mowing a jungle with overwhelming firepower. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where they basically were harking back to the original Predator movie, wasn't it? Realistically speaking. Hey, Valen. Yes, OTZ. Yes, One True Gribble. Yes. How's it going, Alexander Griffin? Can I get a shout out for Alexander Griffin, please? I appreciate that. I'd appreciate that. Evening moving was a success. Huzzah! Boxes everywhere. Only one vibrator found by someone helping moving. Overall knackered, but I'm happy. I'm glad to hear it, Jam. I'm really fucking glad to hear it, friend. I'm glad that it all went really, really well. Nice and smoothly for you. People, go check out my dear friend, Alexander Griffin. Cyberpunk 2077. Alexander Griffin, this coming weekend, I am jaunting off on Friday to an Airbnb in the arse end of nowhere. Where me and my dear friends are going to be playing 3 days of the tabletop roleplay game of Cyberpunk. We're going to be playing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A brand new campaign, actually a brand new rule system that a friend of mine has invented because the original tabletop roleplay system is atrocious. And we've made fucking anarchists that we're all going to go fuck some shit up, which is very, very exciting. I'm taking all of my mood lighting so that we can cause some mood lighting in the zone, as it were. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good fun. Good fun, you know. Everything's changed. Where was I? Oh, there we go. Okay. One of the first things I did in Fallout 4 was install a mod to tell me what the hell was I was actually about to say. Yeah, I hate that when games do that. When they're like, the option says, I don't know about that. And what the actual character says is, you're fucking wrong. Everything you say is wrong. I hate you and everything. I hate you. The horse you rode in on. I'm going to kill your entire lineage. And you're like, whoa, what? That's not what I select. What the fuck? That's not what I selected. What the fuck? What's going on here? What's happening? What's happening? And too many fucking games do that. Too many games do that. Oh, it's very plausible that Earth developed very early in comparison to other habitable planets, as we know it. Now takes hundreds of millions of years of life but now we are an eyelash in time. This is very true. Mathematically, it's silly to that we expect to find another us. Planets with societies could have their own weird things happening, like their core dies, and so does the planet, and on and on. Oh yeah, absolutely, classic Larry. There's also the dynamic of the fact that the vast majority of life as we know it, life as we know it, all runs off instinct. It is extremely rare, extremely rare that a species moves from instinct to intellect as we know it. You know, never mind is able to then build a civilization. Because if you think about it from like purely Earth basis, right? We are one species that has grown to a point where we think intellectually and have built civilizations off the back of that. The only other species that we know of that we believe to be on par intellectual, like we are dolphins, and dolphins don't have the ability to build things because they don't have thumbs. So the idea that an alien species out there has a civilization that of so advanced that they can cross internet like light years worth of speed is well, quite preposterous, really. That happened. Thank you very much, One True Gribble, for redeeming that terrifying thing. Raffle Monk, come here, cheeky devil. What do you like claiming cheeky? I was hanging out in your stream the other day, Raffle Monk. You were playing some MMO thing that was pretty chill. Very crafty buildy, survivory crafty buildy thing. It was very chill. I liked hanging out there. It was fun. Let me try and catch up with chat a wee bit because I'm way fucking behind. First one was surprisingly, despite the spoilers, knew about the chest press. Oh my god, everything's moving again. I'm evidently too far behind in chat. Evidently. While you read down the chat and post the rest there somewhere. Thank you very much.
Most kind.
Astacon gifting us up to Wrathful Monk. That is very fucking kind of you. Very kind of you, beautiful being. Wrathful Monk is wonderful. I saw you were trying not to call out loud because I appreciate that. I appreciate that, you beautiful. And Aska, thank you very much for reminding me what it was. But thank you very much for not calling me out as well. I know you wouldn't have done anyway, but yeah, I was just hanging out. Wrathful Monk. Your name is now inscribed upon the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you'll roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? Or God damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy. Ooh, yes, meow. You know? Valhalla's also stupidly long, which has been a massive turn off for me. It's been out since 2020. It started in 2021, 2022, and I'm still not done. Fucking hell. I get like that with games. I fully understand. That's because Vikings were very popular when it came out. Vikings were doing a really big upturn in the algorithms when Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out. Because I remember Assassin's Creed Valhalla coming out and me being like, oh, for fuck's sake, another Viking thing? Jesus Christ. The DLC open world, but I get it, but Ridley tried to make himself a unified theory of himself, failed miserably. Yes, I agree. I agree entirely, Classic Gary. I think the problem is Hollywood carrying an acceptable but average film purely on the weight of the Alien brand. That's exactly what it is. Astacon, that is exactly what it is. That's the same reason why they remade The Crow. The same reason why you see the same franchises pump one movie after another that don't fucking need to exist. But the Hollywood as a whole is too afraid to make new stuff. They might, like, I think of one of every 10 proposals, they're like, yeah, okay, we'll take a chance on this. But 99% of proposals will be Okay, I want to remake The Crow. Okay, I want to do another Alien franchise movie. Okay, I want to do another Predator franchise movie. Okay, I want to do another Star Wars franchise thing. It's just like, fuck's sake. Get over yourself. Take a risk on something new because we're all getting bored shitless of the same stuff. You know what I mean? Actually, I had a thought about this earlier today. I realized Ridley Scott made Alien, but that was a standalone movie. Scott has never actually built a franchise. Alien became a franchise with Aliens, and Cameron can make a franchise. Not perfect, but he's a heck of a lot better than Scott is, clearly. Alien is iconic. Agreed that Aliens then made it a franchise. I would even say that Alien 3 has its place in the universe. Nowhere near as good as the first two, obviously, but it still has its place in the universe. Everything after that is awful. Everything after that is awful. Until Alien Romulus. And Alien Romulus was great until the last, like, 20 minutes. Thank you so much for the luck. I appreciate that. Trying desperately to clean my room. It's a struggle. You got this. You got this, Alexander Griffin. You got this. And think about how fucking great it's going to be when it's done. Think about how wonderful that nice, clean, fresh room's going to be. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. Wonderful, all right? So just a weekend of debauched brain dances. Oh, you know it. Absolutely. What more do you need, right? I think Fallout 4 suffered from rushed development. I hate that. I could understand it, but I hate it. Got me a cup of positivity. Oh my god, no. After I did a bit of the dishes. How far back is Valiant responding to chat? Well, I've just responded to your thing now, so now you know. Including humans, most of the time, it's only human arrogance that blinds them to it. In what context, Asticon? I think I've missed the context. In regards to us being the only intellectual species out there. I'm not saying we're the only one. I'm saying that it's rare for a species to get to an intellectual level of intelligence. Hope the Fallout 5 ends up being single player and somewhat new. We'll see. I don't think it will be because co-op is definitely the way forward for a lot of people. So I'm guessing yesterday, but probably 5 minutes. Yeah, probably about 5 minutes. Thereabouts. Fuck you, dolphins. Yeah. They've got no thumbs. They can't build civilizations with no thumbs. Good lord. I explain why so many dolphins are assholes. In India, I think India are the only country that do it, Bob Bushman. But in India, they are the only other... They are legally considered to be non-human persons. So a dolphin has all of the same rights as human beings do in India. Nowhere else in the world, to my knowledge. But in India, they have all of the same rights that human beings do. And they are legally considered non-human persons. But it doesn't stop them from being assholes, because they are assholes. Thought I blocked Mr. Blurry from my memory? Definitely not. Definitely not. Under any circumstances. And there'll always be someone here to remind you, for sure. A very stringent definition of usness with our exceptionality and ego. Orcas and elephants are pretty much people emotionally. Yeah, supposedly. Val's speechless. It's hard to not be speechless, Elizano, when that pops up in your life, right? Right? Dolphins are horny fuckers? They are, yes. Well, the thing is, you've got to remember, Sweepy Hamster, the dolphins, because they don't have thumbs, can't furiously jack themselves off. So they tend to get horny. Do you know what I mean? There's only so many rubbings against each other. They are also one of the only species that has sex for pleasure, and one of the only species that has homosexual sex for pleasure, and the equivalent of oral sex. They will fuck each other's blowholes. They will fuck each other's blowholes galore. Radio bubble is very small as well and grows faint pretty quick interstellar distance wise. Yes, that and the fact that like just the astronomical dynamics of time and distance are mind-boggling to me. As soon as people talk about like alien species visiting Earth, I'm not an astrophysicist by any stretch of the imagination, but the idea of interstellar travel, especially the most information I have on it is the movie Interstellar, and the sheer level of time involved in that, and the way that time differs depending on like gravity and traveling through interstellar space and shit like that. The idea of an alien species having, first of all, found us in the universe, and second of all, has the ability to get here is so mind-boggling to me that it just doesn't make sense in my brain how that could ever be possible. We are completely incapable of grasping just how large space is. Our brains aren't big enough. Yeah, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. And the idea that another intelligent species, or even several intelligent species, if you watch fucking Ancient Aliens, and a variety of the other like conspiracy theorists, I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying that there is a good chance that alien species do exist. Absolutely. Just the idea of them having found us in the vast cosmos of the universe, and B, having the technology to get here is it's just too astronomical for my brain to comprehend. It doesn't make sense. Much like I can't believe that a guild of assassins ever got over to Native American history in Assassin's Creed 3. I also can't believe that alien species will have been able to get to Earth. Never mind subtly interfere with our governmental plans. Do you know what I mean? It's just mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling to me. I know Aussie shepherds smarter than people I went to high school with. Yeah, I'm not saying intelligence-wise, classic Gary, by any stretch of imagination. I'm saying intellect. You can be stupid as fuck and still have intellect. You know? I'm okay, felt on the struggle to do things. I have a classwork to do and my brain is potato soup. Yeah, that's been my entire day. My entire day today has been, I should really get on with this stuff, but I just don't give a shit. I just don't have the motivation today. Like I said, today was one of those days where pressing go live was really fucking hard. But we did it. Now we're here having good, interesting conversations about movies. You know, I currently am sitting on my fist in order to try and alleviate some of the muscle shit going on in my ass cheek. Ass cheek twitch. I'm not fisting myself. Good lord. 3 episodes away from finishing Lower Deck, and I'm on season 2 Next Gen with my boyfriend. Neither I ever watched. Next Generation is excellent. I can't get behind the animation style of Lower Decks. It doesn't interest me enough to watch it. You know. TNG gets better. TNG is phenomenal. It's one of the only futuristic universes in general where humanity has a utopia. One of the only where humanity has a utopia. The vast majority of futuristic species are corporations rule the universe and everyone hates everyone else. It's like this real dystopian future. The Next Generation, in fact Star Trek as a universe, is like pretty much the only one where it's like, actually, after several wars, humanity goes, do you know what? Maybe we should stop fucking killing each other and we should actually start working together for the betterment of the species. Just saying? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. 3 episodes away from finishing Lower Decks. Oh yeah, that's, I literally just read that. It's because Hollywood is ruled by money people these days and not creatives. Yep, completely agree. Completely fucking agree. And I personally blame streaming services and pirating. Although there are statistics to say that pirating never really had an effect on it, but like streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Disney Plus, and shit like that, when they all came around, less and less people went to the cinema because cinemas were getting more and more expensive, and they were like, "Fuck it." So suddenly, the massive income that was constantly coming into the movie sector, the Hollywood sector, through VHSs and DVDs and Blu-rays and people actually going to the cinema and shit like that, it meant that less and less people were actually doing that. So more and more people were staying at home. It was also because the like home cinema experience became more and more affordable. More and more people could afford surround sound. More and more people could afford giant TVs or projectors. And it's like, oh shit, the money's not flooding in anymore. Right, we need to penny pinch immediately. We need to shut everything down and stop giving random fucking ideas money. We need to only start investing in things that we can absolutely guarantee are going to have good comeback on it. One extreme to the other. Please stay out of my head with that opinion, Valen. It's too filthy in there for civilized individuals. Yeah, because I'm a civilized individual, Astra. Come on now. Come on now. Can you not do that? Hold on, friends. There we go. Let's have a look. I'm looking for... Astrocon has redeemed a whimsical fact about sex, and I'm just looking for one that we haven't already done a million times over. Most of this shit we talk about all the fucking time. I'm on a health website at the moment. All right, cool. Shit, we'll do that one. Okay, whimsical fact about sex. Did you know that there is a theory that's been around for, well, pretty much since the 90s, at the very, very least since the 90s, that men, cisgender men, think about sex every 7 seconds. That was what the theory was. However, multiple studies have been done on this. Numerous studies. And they have found it to be a complete myth. The average cisgender man does not think about sex every 7 seconds. However, studies have shown that they do think about sex an average of 19 times a day. So the original one was a myth. The fact is, it's approximately 19 times a day. And I've given you a myth, so we'll also do a fact. Did you know that the average duration of sexual intercourse is significantly shorter than most people think it is? And this is heteronormative penis in vagina intercourse. According to a study published by the Journal of Sexual Medicine, the average duration of penetrative, penis in vagina, sexual intercourse is around 5.4 minutes. There you go. There you go. Oh my god. There I was. Currently, the lag is 7 minutes for Val. See the post? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think they discovered that animal species were super intelligent and even able to communicate telepathically or whatnot, especially if they were something that we ate. Humanity just moving the fucking goalposts and gerrymandering them out of it. I mean, that tends to be what humanity do. Because humanity like to be top of the ladder, so they keep changing everything. Look at the entirety of our civilization. The history of every civilization that every human being has ever fucking had. Human beings like their group to be on the top of the ladder. Whatever ladder that happens to be. Non-human person, so they can tax them. They would have to earn in order to be able to tax somebody, Greedo. Theoretically. I don't think the Indian system works like that. 3 conversations are going on, so you sometimes slow down. Yeah, there are a lot of conversations that go on, and because of the fact that I'll talk about something, and by the time that somebody's ever really responded to that, I'm moving on to something else, and then by the time I get back to it, then it ends up cycling quite a lot. There are animals that have homosexual sex for something other than pleasure. Yes, but, well, kind of. I went to the Museum of Sex in New York, and there was a, what's the word I'm looking for? Exhibition dedicated to homosexuality within the animal kingdom. And the drives, the difference is that an animal species that has sex for procreation will go through like being in heat. So at a certain time of the year, usually in spring, depending on their gestational period. Well, so it's usually whatever time it takes for offspring to be born in spring is the best time for that. So if it's like a gestational period of like 6 months, they might procreate in the autumn. If it's just gestational period of a couple of weeks, they might procreate in the spring, etc. If an animal has sex during in heat periods, then it is seen to be the sex is there for procreation, which is different to animals like connecting and mating for life and shit like that. It's a different thing entirely. However, if an animal has sex all year round, like humans do and dolphins do, then it's seen as the species having sex for pleasure. So in regards to homosexual animals, there are animals in the animal kingdom who will pair together, as in two animals of the same sex will pair together, and they will be paired for life if that's what the species does, etc. And they will have sex together, but they'll have sex together in the heat period. So the classic tale is like of 2 male lions, 2 male wild lions, like pair bonded effectively. And they would constantly live together, and they would go around together, and they would be in like their own little prides together, etc. But they would only have sex when it was like in heat time. Do you know what I mean? Bonobos are 100% shagging everything all of the time. Also, bonobos too. They shag all the time. Yeah. And there's me. Not at all right now, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm giving you the animal interpretations of stuff. I haven't done any deep diving into the homosexuality nature of animals, but I did go to an exhibition in a museum once about it. Which was, I seem to remember the exhibition was actually called It's So Unnatural, taking a nice dig at the fact that so many people in the world think that homosexuality is unnatural because only humans are homosexual. No way. I can answer that from a nature perspective as someone who knows animals, but I don't want to handle any answer I give delicately. Well, I'm not handling delicately. That is the straight up answer of it. from everything that I have read. We're completely incapable of grasping how large space is. Our brains just aren't big enough. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Balan, how's it going, Faye Boone? How you doing, you beautiful bean? Did I mishear your ass cheeks or so? I've pinched a nerve in my spine, so I have a shooting pain that goes from the center of my spine. Actually, it's like my spine just behind, about 2 inches higher than my my belly button, and it goes right down my left side to like halfway down my calf. At the moment, it's just going from my butt cheek to behind my knee, but I'm just trying to alleviate. I was trying to alleviate it by sitting on my hand. I realized it's not working, so fuck it. Streamer sits on own fist live on stream. Not clickbait. I know, right? Hence why I go to the library for DVDs. Mortal Kombat theme song plays. Oh my god. DVDs. You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal an automobile. You wouldn't steal someone's existential crisis. Piracy is stealing. How's it going, Shane Sunjan? How you doing, you beautiful bean? Borrow movies from the library that came out between 2022 and 2025. Oh yeah, DVDs are still in production. Still in production, absolutely. Also, hello, Nibirin. I haven't said hello to you yet. How you doing, you beautiful bean? Yeah, they still make DVDs because they're so and they. I think DVD production is going to go up in the next 10 years, because the more and more that these subscription services like Amazon Prime, like Netflix, lose the rights to things, and people lose the ability to lose the access to things that they have actively paid for, I think that more and more people will buy physical copies of things because they don't like paying for things multiple times. Whimsical sex fact: is impossible to keep a burp down during cunnilingus. That's not untrue. I've been bitten by something. Little fucks. Little fucks. That proves that you are a true educator. You go on every subject that has educational interest. I do my best. Do you know what isn't even every subject, Ayla? There's plenty of subjects that don't fucking interest me. But it's every subject that I find really fascinating. I'm like, ooh, let's get involved in that. Do you know what I mean? You've been living a myth? Yeah, not even I think about sex every 7 seconds. Do you know what I mean? I resemble that remark. Tend to lose steam after 15 to 20 minutes. Depends on what's going on. I'm not gonna lie to you. Depends on what's happening in those moments. You know, a sexual, like, penetrative sex of putting your penis as a cisgender person. Myself. Flee. Oh my lordy, you've come in at such an interesting time. Ladies and gentlemen, all gents outside between, delve deep into your bits of popcorn and throw them at the raiders. Throw them at these cheeky devils. Look at these people coming in here. I mean, really? Could you even imagine? Hello, Lunicorn. How you doing, you beautiful individual? Perfect raid. Putting your penis inside something. Oh, good lord. Good lord. How you doing, Lunicorn? What you been up to? What you been up to? Tell me all about it. Friends, welcome on in. How's it going? How you doing? I'm Valen Vane. Vane by name, Vane by nature, deep as a puddle in summer. Love myself just a little bit too much. Just about to talk about putting penises inside things. But welcome on in. Friends, if you don't know Lunicorn, you'd fucking know Lunicorn. You know Lunicorn. Lunicorn's a wonderful, wonderful being. What have you been up to? Oh, you've been doing the Dark Pictures anthology? I own one of those games, and it became a little bit too FMV for me. A little bit too linear. I didn't even play it. I just watched somebody else play a little bit of it, and I was like, yeah, this isn't as interesting as I thought it was going to be. But how are you enjoying it? How are you enjoying it? Because I've like I said, I've only seen like a little bit of somebody else play it, so it might be that it's really fucking interesting, and actually I'm full of shit. But, you know, how are you enjoying it, you beautiful individual? Friends, if you're new here, 2 things you need to know about this channel. 1, you're not allowed to apologize. Instead of saying sorry, try saying thank you. Instead of saying sorry, I'm late, say thanks for waiting. Instead of saying sorry, I'm such a burden, say thanks for being there for me. It'll make you a much more positive individual. 2, If you're under the age of 18, I have to ask you to leave. I've got to ask you to leave, for I'm a colossal filth wizard. I'm about to talk about putting your penis inside things, and I don't want to be corrupting the ears of the young. We just did a whimsical fact about sex, about the fact that according to studies, the average time for penis in vagina sex is about 5.4 minutes. Many people think it's longer than that. Some people think it's 3 minutes. I always thought it was 3 minutes, but according to actual studies, it's 5.4 minutes. What I was about to say is, when it comes to sex, when it comes to a sexual dynamic, as a person with a penis, when it comes to sex itself, the penis inside vagina, butthole, mouth, whatever, is such a small aspect of the sexual experience that I get very confused as to the fixation on it. People are like, sex. So you do the foreplay bit, and then you do the sex bit. And then you do the, okay, roll over and go to sleep bit while somebody else cleans up bit, right? Right? That's the bit. And it's like, no. No, the entire thing, from the point of, let's get it on, to the point of, okay, I think we're good. I think that's me for the night. That entire experience is sex. From that first fucking kiss, smoochy, let's fucking do it, a bit of a grope, whatever, to the, okay, we have decided to call it quits for the night. That entire experience is sex. I know, I'm a sex educator. I studied this shit. Between 2 or more individuals. Actually, do you know what? No, because I would say that self-sex is also a thing. Between 1 or more individuals, consenting adults, with whatever genitalia they have, it's all sex. So the idea that, like, they say 5.4 minutes, I'm like, well, that evidently is penis in vagina sex. Because the rest can last as long as you fucking want it to. You know? And there's no reason why you can't do 3 minutes of those 5.4 minutes, stop for a bit, get yourself to calm down a little bit while doing other things to keep the tantalizing nature going, and then crack on again. You know? I would love to see any outliers they trimmed from those stats. Refact. Oh, honestly, thank you very much for giving me the context as well, Classic Gary. I appreciate that. I genuinely do. I think that there are definitely people out there with penises who ejaculate a lot faster. And there's definitely people out there that ejaculate a lot slower or don't ejaculate at all. In regards to, like, penetrative penis in vagina sex. Absolutely. For starters, because of excitement factor, there's a lot of people that suffer from premature ejaculation, for starters. There's a lot of people out there that get so unbelievably excited that by the time that they get doing the actual deed, it's like, okay, this is fucking immediately one thrust and done. Do you know what I mean? And then there's people out there that have got stuff like sexual non-concordance, or they're very, very used to having a lot of sex. Like, the more you get used to it, the more that your body adapts to shit like that. There's a lot of things going on there. Other things can affect it, like fucking cock rings and numbing gels and fucking condoms with numbing cream on them and shit like that. There's loads and loads of things out there that can change the statistical ratio of how long you last. I just don't understand why people are so fucking obsessed with, okay, sex starts when the penis enters the vagina and sex finishes when the penis ejaculates. And it's like, you realize there's a lot more to sex than that? You realize there's a lot more around that entire dynamic. No? Okay. You're missing out on 90% of the fun, but sure. Okay, fair enough. You do you. Not to be confused with a quickie. A quickie is a different thing entirely. That's like, okay, let's do it as quickly as possible, because the risk, the taboo, oh my god, the excitement, the race against time, which in itself is exciting, you know? But, you know. Really, Death Ally? Yeah. According to studies, yeah. If they think about sex for 1 to 2 hours, it's entirely possible that they do think about it however many seconds. You said every 7 seconds. That was it. How was your stream, though, Lunicorn? How was it? People go check out Lunicorn. Lunicorn's a wonderful, wonderful bean. Exactly, because of all that experience, not just getting down to the main event. For example, it could be hours of minutes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There are also the ability of multiple rounds if you have the stamina for it. If you have the stamina and you're not too sensitive for it. You know, we're playing the last one of the anthology and it's creepy as fuck. Was it good though? The game that I was playing is Serial Killer and it's very dark. Did today instead of yesterday because, you know, I fell asleep yesterday. Be right back, need some food. No, go do your thing. Go do your bits and pieces for sure. That feels like 5 minutes of cuddling afterwards. There's nothing wrong with that though. That's all part of the process. The aftercare is definitely a part of the sex as well. Having a little snuggle with naked bodies? Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Guess I'm abnormal as usual. Nothing wrong with that at all. Only 19 times a day. My perimenopausal ass would be beat that hands down right now. Sweepy Hamster, again. So, generally speaking, it tends to be, and this is massive generalizations, people born with penises tend to think a lot about sex and be their most sexually active in their late teenage, early 20s years, in their physical prime, as it were. Physical prime in inverted commas. Whereas people with uteruses, people who are born with vulvas, tend to think more and more about sex later on in life. So it's like large amount, small amount for people with penises, people with vulvas, and then as time goes on, it gets the other way around. Which is why the phrase toy boy exists, because there are many older cis women, for example, who have very, very high sex drives and do not have partners that can keep up with them, so they get a little younger gentleman on the side who's got a much higher sex drive, speaking on a purely heteronormative dynamic. You know, I do not agree with cheating. I think cheating is wrong. Betrayals of trust in general are wrong, but I understand it from a purely psychological point of view. You know, there's me right now. All the gays get everywhere. They certainly do. As a massive polyamorous pansexual hamster, yeah, nothing wrong with that. I think obviously those are generalizations. The fact of the matter is every single person is their own individual. They will be as horny. I know full well that my sex drive, for lack of a better term, goes in cycles. There are periods of time where I'm like, I just need all of the genitalia rubbed over me like a fucking massage balm. Give it to me. And then there are other times where I'm just like, do you know what? I'm just not in the fucking brain space for it. At all. I'm just not in the fucking brain space. Do you know what I mean? There are times when I furiously masturbate multiple times a day. And then times when I can go for a week without even thinking about it. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing strange about that. It's all perfectly fucking natural. And if you are anything, it doesn't matter what is going on. What is normal for you is okay. If you're worried about it, go see a medical professional. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That commercial is based on the copyright infringement. It is, yeah. So, you wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a thing. Yeah, they didn't have the license for the font or the music. Because Sembar and I think Finley was the ones that put me onto that. It was just like, yeah, actually, it's horrifically the you wouldn't steal a car thing that you see in. Do you remember DVDs when you'd see like watch a movie and at the beginning of it it'd be like, you wouldn't steal a car, you wouldn't steal a computer, you wouldn't steal somebody's sex drive. That was the font was stolen. The font was copyright infringement. And the music was also stolen. So the you wouldn't steal a thing, piracy is wrong, was pirated. Itself. The irony, right? those anti-piracy things remind me of how a father and son 3D printed a working Lamborghini. That's fucking hilarious. Actually hilarious. Museum up in York did a funky video based off that commercial, and I recall a set in the medieval theme scene. Line was most memorable was thievery is theft. Thievery is theft. Exactly. Also, the music fucking slapped as well. Absolutely fucking slapped. How's it going, Crow Alternative? Could I get a shout for Crow Alternative, please? I'd really appreciate that. You are known for your epic timing? Absolutely. 4K Blu-ray is pretty much the threshold of yep. I have a huge TV in my den and everything looks perfect. So I might become a natural stopping point for people building libraries again. Yeah. Oh my God. How are you enjoying Subnautica, Crow? How are you enjoying Subnautica? Fucking love that game. Really. I'm not a big survival expanse game at all. But I really enjoyed Subnautica. Really enjoyed Subnautica. Also, people go check out Crow. Crow's fucking hilarious. I got on really well with him. See him in a lot of events that I happen to frequent in the UK. A lot of the different styles of event. And he's always wearing something weird, obscure, and it makes me happy in my little soul. Doing good. I was going to raid you with a setting. Stop me. Yeah. So I turn off my settings about an hour before I stop stream. Well, half an hour to 40 minutes before I stop stream. I've turned them off at the moment because my pain, I've got a bit of a pinched nerve in my spine and the pain is steadily getting worse. So I'm like, I need to finish in the next like 40 minutes. So I can go stretch and lie down. But I appreciate you thinking of me, you beautiful being. I appreciate you considering my delightful visage to come and raid over to, you wonderful being. I'm sure you raided somebody equally as glorious. But yeah, people go and check out the glorious Crow Alternative. Beautiful being. I appreciate him very much. Appreciate his face. Never noticed your tattoo. That's because this is the first time I've worn short sleeves in like 5 months. But I've got loads of them. The most recent ones are my two little goldfish. And I'm going to be getting another one in the next couple of months. I now hate fish. I love the fish. The fish are wonderful. What is your problem with fish? Why do you hate fish? They only want to eat you. I mean, cuddle you with their mouths. They just want to cuddle you with their mouths, okay? Sometimes, when somebody wants to cuddle a part of my anatomy with their mouth, I'm very enthusiastic for it, okay? Not usually fish, but still. Okay? You know? Also, Medusa, how you doing, you beautiful being? Welcome on in. Where was I? I only count the penetrative part in my count, and it's not that I finish after 15 to 20. I run out of stamina and need to rest. Reality, etc. Probably get off after 3 to 4 sessions. Yeah. And again, nothing wrong with that. By any stretch of imagination. Different strokes for different folks in a quite literal term in this scenario, you know? Found that Thievery is Fair video. It was Winchester, not York, because I thought that's hilarious. Age-old question of how do lesbians know when they've finished? I know exactly when lesbians know when they're finished, despite the fact that I'm a cisgender man. I know exactly when lesbians know when they're finished because they both look at each other and go, "Are you done?" And they go, "Yeah, I think I'm done. I think I'm done." And they go, "Cool, we're done." That's how lesbians know when they're finished. Because they both look at each other and agree that they've had enough for one night. You know? Time goes off when you enter a store, when you cross the vagina entry threshold. Yeah, exactly. As soon as I penetrate a vagina, it's like, bing, bing, bing. On your marks. Get set. Go! You know? Polyamory is the way forward. Polyamory is a way forward, Sweepy Hamster. Polyamory is only a way forward. There are plenty of people that are monogamous in this community, and that is perfectly fine. There are many. Monogamy is definitely a way forward too. If that's what works for you, so long as there's no judgment on any other people, that's fine. And I will say, as much as I have had my issue with people being particularly prejudiced within their monogamy, I've also had my issue where people have been particularly prejudiced within polyamory, where I have literally in my fucking life seen people turn around and be like, you should definitely like try polyamory out because I want to fuck you and I think you should cheat on your partner. I have known a lot of people use polyamory as an excuse to cheat. Because you can cheat as a polyamorous person. I also know a lot of people that have used monogamy as a way of trapping people. So, yeah, polyamory is a way forward, just as monogamy is a way forward. But I will not under any circumstance have anybody favoring one over the other in this community, because I have seen far too much fucking prejudice over lifestyle choices in that regard. Cheating is always awful. Absolutely. Cheating is always awful. Cheating is a betrayal of trust. Not only the physical act of it, but you can emotionally cheat as well. You can emotionally cheat on people. Very, very important. Not to have a go, but it was, that triggered me a little bit. Because I have literally seen it in front of my fucking face, where I was with a partner in a monogamous relationship in the past, and I watched a guy try and convince my partner, my monogamous partner, that, like, I wasn't against monogamy, I wasn't against polyamory, I wasn't against any of these things, but I am against people using any excuse they can to get into the pants of another person, and it fucked me right off. Absolutely fucked me right off. So yeah. Dreadfully dull in the reference to sex. Time between the penis goes in and the penis goes blurst. Exactly. I love the way you spelt blurst there as well, to be honest with you. Looking good, thank you very much. Very seasonal, very good. Came across an interesting post on Facebook the other day. I have avoided Facebook for months and months and months and months. That place is a fucking cesspit of humanity. But yes, continue. Managed to read part of it, had to tab between apps for something. And when I returned to Facebook would refresh and I couldn't find it again. But basically it said, for heteronormative sex, stop calling it foreplay. It makes it so that it's done as a precursor to the main event, which is very penis-centric and somewhat misogynistic and doesn't give equality to the female experience. Very paraphrased, as it could reread. No, I get it. Absolutely. Sex starts when two consenting adults decide that they want to have sex. The most powerful sexual organ you have is your brain. So the moment that you're like, and the other person's like, and you start fucking fumbling, oh, sweet, let me lick the plaque off your teeth. Oh my God. Can't wait to taste those tonsil stones. You know, at that point, that's where it fucking begins. And it ends when the two of you turn around and go, do you know what? I'm fucking done. Or one of you turns around and goes, do you know what? I'm done. I literally can't keep going. I'm too fucking sensitive. Whatever, you know? Where's the 3D printed Lambo? I've got no idea. Thank you very much for the shout out there, Sam. I appreciate that. Doing good. Well, yeah. What going on there? I've got loads of shit going on here, Medusa. At some stage, I'll do like a tattoo tour, but not now. I've got such an itchy nose all of a sudden. Sending many kisses to make it better. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Crow, you beautiful being. You can kiss all the way up my spine, you sexy bastard. I mean, you delightful friend. Need a tie back massage by yours truly. All I need to do is lay on the bed and I'll walk all over you. I haven't had somebody walk up my spine in a long time, to be fair. To be fair. They're trying to do things to me that I'm not okay with, and one stole my car. Not chill. That would do it. Yeah, no, that would do it. But that, you've got to understand that for a giant species of fish like that, they just think it's a toy car, Pro. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh look, brum brum. They don't realize that you're already in it. It's like stealing a Polly Pocket. Do you know what I mean? You're just too small for them to realize. And funny part of the 3D printed car was the Lambo's officially popped. Lambo officials popped, took notice of it. They saw it as a used. And oh my fucking God, I can't even read. The funny part of the 3D printed car was Lambo officials took notice of it and saw that they used an Audi steering wheel instead of suing them, they gave them a proper steering wheel. That's fucking hilarious. That's actually, I love that. I love that. That is a great publicity stunt as well. That is such a great publicity stunt. Do you know what I mean? You don't know that lesbians are psychic? Are they only psychic with other lesbians though? Because if they're not, if they're psychic with all people, then that would explain why I have done a lot of things in my life. That would explain why a lot of my life choices are very questionable when I hang out with lesbians. You know? You know? You're just running random directions and none of them really work. What are you talking about? No, they always really work, right? I've had multiple experiences of penis in vagina and fear telling one of my worst would be a self-own if I admitted it. People think that people with penises can't have a bad heteronormative sexual experience. I have had plenty of shit shags. Not necessarily because the person was particularly bad in bed, it's just that we as two individuals didn't gel. We didn't work, we didn't have the right chemistry, we weren't touching the right boxes, we didn't take enough time to realize, acknowledge each other and understand those things. Be able to take the time to get into the right rhythm. Alcohol was involved. There is definitely such a thing. There's this weird fucking misconception. I know that I'm preaching to the fucking choir here, but there's a weird misconception that there is no such thing as a shit shag for a penis. And it's only the people with vulvas can have bad sexual experiences or boring sexual experiences. Not at all. Not at all. I've had plenty of boring sexual experiences. You know? Which is the reason why I'm far more selective over who I sleep with. Back in my teenage years, fuck my life. Good lord. Polyamory sounds like a one-way course to social overstimulation, honestly. The polyamory is absolutely fucking amazing for the people that are involved. But the thing about polyamory is you have to be really clear about your communication. You have to be not only clear, but also respectful of your own boundaries as well as other people's boundaries. You have to understand where those boundaries lie and be accepting of the fact that you can be at fault because of a miscommunication, because of a misunderstanding, and what have you. There are a lot of reasons why polyamory can work, but a lot of people find a monogamous relationship difficult because of the communication aspect of it. Never mind a polyamorous relationship where you are literally having different relationships with multiple different people, and none of them are better than any other. They are all just different relationships, you know? Some people think that polyamory is like a hierarchy. It usually isn't. There are some people that do it as a hierarchy, but 9 times out of 10, it isn't a hierarchy at all. It's these people have a relationship. These people also have a different relationship. These people also have a different relationship. This person has a relationship with this person and this person over here. Do you know what I mean? It's those dynamics, you know? We sure can. Hey, these are my pants. Get out of here. No judgment here. Polyamorous comment was in response to a previous conversation. I'm too long in the tooth to judge other people's choices. Cheating sucks bad. I agree with what you said wholeheartedly. Thank you very much, Sweepy. I appreciate that. And I came across very, very strong there, but that's just because you triggered something in me. You do nothing against you at all, you beautiful being. It's just you triggered something in me after seeing people use polyamory as an excuse to be a cunt of a person, basically, you know. As someone that tried polyamory, I should add not for sex. Shit ain't so cut and dry. I'll wait for you to get back before I answer that. I love reading about couples where one wants to open the relationship because they want to cheat, have none of the luck while the formerly reluctant person thrives and then leaves the toxic person. That happens more often than not, River 7. Because what normally happens, and this is, again, a vast generalization, usually what can happen in monogamous scenarios is there is a frustrating situation. One of the partners gets really bored but doesn't want to fucking leave them for whatever fucking reason. And they're like, right, I am going to... we want to open up this relationship. And say this is a heteronormative dynamic, so you've got a cisgender woman and a cisgender man for the purposes of this example. The cisgender man's like, okay, I'm getting bored of this situation. We've become a little bit too comfortable with each other. I'm getting lazy in bed and I can't be fucking arsed with that shit, but I'm interested in shagging other people. The cisgender man turns around to the cisgender woman and goes, hey, we should open up our relationship. It'll make us value each other more. We'll be able to experience other people, but that'll make me love you more. This is, again, stereotypes, but this has happened because I've fucking seen it. We should totally, like, open up our relationship because that would be absolutely fucking great and wonderful. Oh my God, that would be so... That would help me love you better. And the other person's like, I'm not sure about this. And then over a period of usual erosion, emotional erosion, cisgender man wears down cisgender woman until cisgender woman agrees to it. Cisgender man then goes, fucking yes, gets on Tinder. Nobody's fucking interested in him. Cisgender woman's going, all right, well, if you're going to do it, then I suppose I'll give it a try too. Cool. I'm gonna give it. Oh, look, everybody's interested in me because I am a woman who's open for no strings attached sex. All right, cool. Cisgender man gets angry and bitter. Cisgender woman gets pissed off at the fact that cisgender man is angry and bitter because it was his idea in the fucking first place. Cisgender woman leaves. Again. Stereotypes, but that shit has happened. Abso-fucking-lutely. I have seen it happen in my life experience. I have seen that happen more than once. And Crawl Alternative, back to your comments, as someone that has tried polyamory, I should add not for sex, shit ain't so cut and dry. So it's definitely not cut and dry. It takes a lot of communication. It takes a lot of communication. It takes a lot of trust. And it takes a lot of clear, concise boundaries that need to be respected by all parties. I have found in my experience of polyamorous couples, I have not been in a polyamorous dynamic myself, but in my experience of other polyamorous couples, they are a lot less tolerant of fuck-ups. Because usually, not always, but usually, clear boundaries have been issued, clear communication has been issued, and when somebody fucks up, they're like, how the fuck did you get this wrong? Because I was very clear of my boundaries and I was very communicative with you about every step of this. That doesn't mean that they're going to split up, but I'm just saying that normally they will nip that shit in the bud much quicker because it's like, we have been very clear about this shit. Why has this gone wrong? Explain yourself, and explain yourself in a way that is very fucking good. You know? Doesn't always work that, but, you know. Tonsil stones smell like oral disaster anus. I dread to think how one would taste. No worries, no worries. You take it easy, one true couple. I've been having dinner with my partner and Astro Child John. Oh, amazing. I hope you have a wonderful time. Stealing a Polly Pocket is like some level of degenerate. Well, you know, sometimes. All make mistakes, so it's all very real. Everybody does make mistakes. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes by any stretch of the imagination. It's just... it's more unforgivable when clear, concise boundaries have been set. You know what I mean? It's like when, say in a polyamorous dynamic, one partner's like, I am cool with you getting with other people and having other relationships and all that jazz, but if you get with somebody from my work, that will make things more uncomfortable for me because I will then have to see them, and any arguments that we have are then potentially going to become work related and all that jazz. It then becomes a much stickier situation because it starts inviting drama. For example, for pure example. And then if that partner then goes and starts dating somebody from partner A's work, it's like, how the fuck did you fuck this up? Because I was very clear about my boundaries, you know? The lesbianism hive mind? Ah, okay, yeah, makes sense. Van is a butch lesbian, confirmed. And I do a fantastic impression of a strap-on. As we've talked about before. I realized it wasn't PIV, it was PIA. As in, wasn't penis in vagina, it was penis in anus, I'm assuming. And I almost fell asleep during it. That's fair. That's fair. I'll openly admit, I have definitely fallen asleep during a blowjob before because it was a very, very relaxing blowjob and I was very sleepy. And it was honestly one of the greatest experiences. It was fucking amazing. I was just like so relaxed. I was so chill. And the morning afterwards, I said to my partner at the time, just being like, that was absolutely fucking amazing. And I hope it didn't hurt your ego much. Because obviously you're like, exciting times, I was saying, but I'd already, by that point, I'd already like done the business and therefore was flooded with the sleep hormones. But it was honestly one of the greatest experiences. Fucking excellent. You know, tend to refer to ourselves as constellations because there are clusters with other clusters. Yeah, that's a really good, I like that. Drew the whole constellation of a extended polycule last year. It's a cool piece of art. I love that. That's a really, really cool visual image, like a visualization of it, to be honest with you, Finley and Sen. Hierarchy polycule often have, or quickly can, end up exploitative. And all those that I've seen in such a dynamic, it's ended badly, almost exclusively, as a terrible mess. Yeah, I know of one working hierarchical polyamory collective, but I will say that collective that I am aware of is always in the middle of drama. Like, there is a hierarchy amongst them, and they are working. As in, they're all still together and they've been together for quite a prolonged period of time. But there is always drama around every single one of them. Stereotypes exist because stereotypes exist. Yeah. They certainly fucking do. The cis heteronormative description you gave sounds like the typical unicorn hunters. Honestly, yes. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Which is the reason why if you go on... I think, if memory serves me correctly... it's been a while since I've deep dived into fucking dating apps, but the most poly and kink friendly dating app, certainly in the UK, is Field, if I remember correctly. It used to be Whippler back in the day, but now it's Field. And there are, I remember way back in the day, that when I was on Field, there was a lot of people just putting not a unicorn. Not a unicorn. As in, don't try and get me just to satisfy some urge you have. Communication is massive. Absolutely. Communication is massive in any relationship. But it is more important for trust in a polyamorous relationship. I would argue that every relationship, whether monogamous or polyamorous, should have amazing communication in it. But I would say that for the purposes of trust, it is more, not more important, but more essential in a poly dynamic. Because if you are having multiple relationships, then you need to be able to communicate your problems and your issues and your insecurities and your happiness, and all the positive things and all of the negative things are much more important if your partner is or has also got other relationships. So that anytime you've got an insecurity, but like, look, you know. I have acquaintances where it was direct opposite. Cis F demands opening up a relationship. Cis men gets a girlfriend. Cis female gets upset because she couldn't find anything, gets angry and divorces. Yeah, it does. It certainly does happen in the opposite dynamic. I use the stereotype because I have physically seen that stereotype happen. Nip that shit in the bud when it happened to me. Boundaries are fucking essential. Could not agree more. Could not agree more. Didn't even pick on any innuendo with the Polly Pocket. Was 100% talking about stealing past your toy. Oh, so was I. Absolutely, so was I. There was no innuendo there at all. Great experience. I'm gonna hold off on further words. That's all right. It's okay. Send you a picture in your DMs. Field is here as well, I believe. Yeah. Oh, cool. Do you want to show it or use it? You can. Okay, cool. I will. As it's anonymous and you haven't included any names or anything. Open link. So you've got, like, say these two stars are a couple. This person is with this person. But I'm assuming that the faded ones are like, these are like lovers, and these two people are in a relationship, but they're lovers, and this person has a relationship with all of these 5 people. This person has a relationship with these 2 people, but this person's a lover with this person. That kind of thing. These 3 are in a throuple. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I like it. It certainly gives a good visualization to how the different dynamics work, for sure. For sure. My lordy. Give them Nell. Are you still here? Are you still here, you beautiful bean? Field is here as well, I believe. I learned really quickly that you can have your name be NB Menace or whatever pronouns in the assigned slot. Pronoun is in the about text, and men would still call me beautiful woman. Can't win on dating apps. No, that doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all. Nell, come here, cheeky devil. What do you like claiming cheeky kisses, you beautiful individual? I'm waiting 17 minutes for it as well. Good on you. Good on you. Yeah, I think anytime that somebody is even vaguely femme presenting, that you'll always get some people being very not people that just don't read fucking profiles. I remember getting, like, back in the fucking day, getting, like, having conversations with people that I'd match with, which happened very, very rarely because a lot of people like the look at me, but very few people want to get involved, which has been a recurring thing for my entire life, which I am perfectly okay with. But I remember having conversations with people and them being genuinely surprised at the fact that I read their profiles. And they're being like, I was just very confused by it. I was like, why would people not read your profile? No, just swipe right. Just swipe right. Look, swipe right. Fuck it. And I'm like, how do you know if you are going to get on with somebody if you're into completely opposite things? What the fuck? I think in poly, the lack of communication will lead to problems a lot easier and quicker than in a monogamous relationship. Do you know what? That's a much better way of putting it, Sembar. Instead of saying that communication is more important in a polyamorous relationship versus a monogamous relationship, I think that's a much better way of putting it. The lack of communication in a polyamorous dynamic will lead to problems a lot easier than lack of communication in a monogamous relationship. I think that's a much better way of putting it. Yeah, I like that. Thank you very much for that. It's good art and meaningful too, yeah. I cannot love these discussions, I love these discussions when I cannot imagine it for myself, but I feel good communication is the basis of any type of relationship, be it romantic, sexual, familial, platonic. I could not agree more, Karma. And communication also needs to be said. I'm going to say this only once, because it should only need to be said once, but I'll say it. I'll say it. Communication is not just telling people what you think and feel. It is also listening to how they think and feel. Taking on board what they're saying, not just being clear about what your intentions, thoughts, feelings are. Communication is two-way, or three-way, or four-way, like an orgy, you know? You know? Welcome back. Podcast, that's alright, that's no problem. How are you single? Proceeds not to ask me out. Yeah. Because you might be like the perfect you're such an ideal person. You're so great and wonderful, but you're not my ideal person. So, you know. I don't really give a shit. Like it's never been something that's I think it bothered me when I was like a teenager because people would talk like before fucking dating apps and all that shit. People would talk about like how exciting it would be to date me and then never did it. But I think I got over it pretty quickly. It was just like, yeah, I understand. I am very flamboyant. I am very out there. And I think a lot of people like the fantasy of how weird and peculiar and strange my life must be and stuff like that. But when it actually came to like push come to shove, they'd be like, yeah, I don't want to break that fantasy. I don't want to step over that line. I'm good. I'm all right. I'm good. Do you know what I mean? Flamboyance and confidence can be very intimidating for people. For sure. Now I've got an itch in my lip. What's all that? I know the whole judging people by their looks first doesn't work for me. So dating apps are not for me. Then again, I've been on blind date exactly once in my life. All of my relationships have been friends first and then grown into more. Which I would say that the vast majority of relationships that I have had have always started from sex. Like every person that I have had a prolonged relationship with, I have slept with within 2 days of meeting them, 3 days of meeting them. Thereabouts. Deliberately make my profile long enough to put a certain type of people off. I like to weed out the wheat from the chaff. Before I swipe, I often hide a sneaky question in there and see if they bring it up. Yeah. Do you know what I always used to find fucking hilarious? Was people would put in their profiles, be like, don't just say hi, make it interesting. So I would make it interesting. I'd be like, so tell me, if you could go on holiday anywhere in the entire world, where would it be? Or something like that. I'd say some really, obviously you don't get tone of voice in there, but I'd always add some weird, obscure thing that would tell me quite a bit about them as a person. But then they'd be like, why would you fucking ask this? And I'm like, or they'd just ignore it. Or they'd just completely fucking ghost me. You completely ignore it. Which happened more often than not. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm too interesting. I get it. You wanted something more than hi, how are you? But you didn't want, tell me about stuff. I'm going to make you think. Yeah, let's go. You know. Understanding plus is just about understanding yourself and others. Yeah, but it's also about being clear. Two people can say exactly the same thing and one person can think of something completely different. Making sure that somebody's clear with what you mean by that. I've definitely found it in relationships before where somebody has said something and I'm like, cool, they mean this, because my brain has associated everything that they have said with positivity. But because of their background or their upbringing or what have you, they have said it associating everything they've said with negativity. So I've been like, okay, cool, this is what you want me to do. But what they actually wanted me to do was something completely fucking different. You know? So it's all very well to be communicative, but you have to be, the other person has to understand as well, you know? Dating someone who's queer, neurodivergent, and nerdy is definitely harder. I avoid the apps, but I definitely would like to put myself out there a tad more. It's like, okay, where's the sweet spot on the Venn diagram of people who would be okay dating someone like me? I don't know. There's a lot of different styles of dating apps as time's gone on. More and more dating apps come and go as they run out of money and all that jazz and what have you. But there was one that my friend was on a while ago that was like all to do with music. And it wasn't like a specific dating app. It was more like a find friends who would go to gigs with you app. Find new people in your area that would go to the gigs that you want to go to type thing. I would imagine there'll probably be something similar around nerds and shit like that, because being a nerd, being a geek is becoming more and more fashionable with stuff like Twitch and YouTube and shit like that. So it wouldn't surprise me if stuff like that exists. Just finding it, do you know what I mean? Self-understanding plus outward understanding. Okay, I get you. When the Venn as well. Love queerdos who wax lyrical about their passions and their kinks alike. Yeah. Also 6 tall and AFAB. So usually wigs out some folks. Yeah, definitely. I never fully understood why people get so insecure about height, but it's apparently a big thing. That does not surprise me. Look, I go for sexual chemistry first and hope for the best afterwards. And you know what? It's worked very, very well for me so far. Sexual chemistry first. Make sure they can have an interesting conversation afterwards. See how it goes. Wait, not that interesting? Exactly. Too interesting. Far too interesting for it. First time I ran into emotional interest were absolute negative sexual chemistry. I felt very vulnerable. Didn't know it could happen like that. Definitely made me a bit more careful. Understandably, for sure. My favorite questions were: 1, icebreaker, what's your favorite constellation and why? Interesting. Where is the quote everybody's dead day from? That's a solid call. I remember the time I tried to flirt with a dinosaur fact the last time on an app, and the guy deadpanned that he didn't think dinosaurs could be pickled. It was about, I don't know that one at all, no. But I would imagine the thing about stuff like that is if you turn around and say something about if you've got a specialized interest, if you are a delightful neurodivergent person who has a specialized interest, and you start a conversation with that specialized interest, you immediately know whether you're going to get on with that person or not. Do you know what I mean? You immediately know whether you're going to get on with that person or not. I have a slightly bit of a problem with that. I would have a major issue with that on account of the fact that my specialized interest is sex, and I can't exactly just go, hey, do you enjoy getting anally fisted so you look like a sock puppet? That's like a bad first line. Do you know what I mean? Do you enjoy somebody wearing you like a feed bag whilst tweaking your nipples like a radio station? Like what? Has anyone ever made you airtight? Like, do you know what I mean? They are very specific questions that for me would be very interesting to know, but not the best for getting to know somebody that you've never met before. You know what I mean? I once gave a guy a whole paragraph of feedback before blocking him. I'd waited a week to see if he would actually ask me a question, or if he just talk about himself. And yeah, didn't ask a question. After a week of silence, he said something along the lines of assuming I was doing well. Oh my god. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of people on dating apps of all genders who are very much there to blow their own trumpet more than anything else. Do you know what I mean? Make it interesting. No, not like that. Turn Up. That's the name of the music app. Thank you very much, Sweepy Hamster, for bringing us in there. Turn Up, where you can go gigging with different people. And if you never know, you might find a fling while you're out partying or what have you, you know? Never knew that the height thing was a real thing. Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is. There are, in my experience, which might be a little bit outdated, but in my experience, generally speaking, heterosexual women. Okay, I'm going to rephrase that. Cisgender women who are interested in cisgender men, because it could be bisexual, etc., tend to not, and again, generalization, tends to not like guys that are smaller than them. And cisgender men who are interested in cisgender women tend to not like women that are taller than them, which is fucking weird. Just, if you get on with somebody, what the fuck does it matter how tall or small they are? Jesus Christ. boggles the mind. But yeah, adds up. Just never thought about being a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal to some people. It's a big deal to some people. I wouldn't say it's a big deal to everybody by any stretch of imagination. Not the best intro, however, it is a solid icebreaker, right? Now that would be an interesting bio on a dating platform. There you go, biking. How you doing, you beautiful being? How's it going? Are you back biking now? Are you back on the old road on the 2 wheels? I suppose it's winter, so you might not be. Might have put it away for the season. Has anyone ever made you airtight? Exactly. Very important questions. You know? The opposite, absolutely amazing sexual chemistry. Very compatible kinks, but we were so bad for each other mentally. We brought out the worst in each other, and it took us too long to realize that was the case. Thankfully, we're both doing a lot better now. I've had exactly the same like that. I've definitely had a partner where the sexual chemistry was fucking wild. Just chaos, and it was sparks flying all the fucking time. But as individuals, as people, we were awful for each other. We brought out each other's worst sides. Absolute worst sides. And yeah, we're both doing a lot better now. We actually speak to each other now, which is good. We went for a couple of years of not talking to each other, but now we actually speak to each other every so often. Fancy being my sock puppet for a bit? Exactly. I just want to perform the Muppets. I'll be Miss Piggy. You can be whichever one you want. Amalia, how you doing, you beautiful being? Absolutely brilliant. Look, sometimes there's an art to give someone a sink or swim interest question while still being fair and reading the temperature of that coming out left field. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it all comes down to how good you are at reading people's texts. Not necessarily people, but people's texts. If you read too deeply into shit, it can be very, very problematic for sure. Need to find those who also have special interest in sex. Yeah, exactly. That's all I need. But in that case, it would not be what you say, but how you say it. Exactly. If I could just do it via voice note, I'm sure it'd be fine, right? Something like that. I'd be fine via voice note. The height thing is probably a patriarchal thing. Potentially. Definitely potentially. Don't mind height so much as personality. Had a fling with somebody who was a foot shorter than me, who was attractive, but unfortunately clingy and creepy. So yeah, no, I get that. Absolutely get that, for sure. For sure. What about the Muppet animal then, Valen, or Gonzo? Okay, there's a question for you, friends. What animal is Gonzo? I know the answer to this, but anyway. Right, friends, I'm going to have to go because my back is playing silly buggers and I'm actually going to have to go get some painkillers. But thank you very much for being here, friends. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you all being here and hanging out with me. A shrimp? Space thing or something. Oh, yeah. Something like that. However, friends, personal headcanon is a fly. I love that idea. I love that idea. However, friends, we are going to go raid somebody. Because we always go raid somebody. I always go throw some love at another delightful individual because I like to spread the love around. I like to spread it around like an STI pick and mix. That's the only way I know how to do these things. Friends, before we go anywhere, though, could you do me a massive, massive, massive favor and throw out some mod loves in the channel? You can use any kind of mod loves from any kind of channel. You can use any kind of love hearts from any kind of channel. Say a massive thanks to those wonderful moderators. Mods! Thank you very much for being here. Thanks so much for all you do. All the stuff you do in and out of stream. All the stuff you do for me behind the scenes. And all the stuff that you do for this community as well. Don't cook us on the Gonzo answer. The Gonzo answer is he's an actual alien. There is a specific Muppets movie where everyone's questioning what Gonzo is, and Gonzo doesn't even know himself, and he's like, what are we doing? What am I? I don't even know. And he's like lost his identity, and then aliens land and they all look like Gonzo. Don't know whether he was meant to originally be like Gonzo, but they all end up being like, oh, okay, this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing. Friends, I know exactly who we're going to go raid. Primarily because of the game that they're playing. I'm not going to lie to you. Because this has piqued my interest. This has piqued my interest. Friends, you beautiful individuals, if you are a subscriber, please copy and paste the first raid message that One True Cripple is thrown out there. Thank you very much, OTC. Appreciate that. And also Nibiru's thrown out there. If you are not a subscriber, please copy and paste the second raid message. That's the first Bot of Vein raid message for subscribers. The second Bot of Vein raid message for non... In fact, you know what? There's 4 of them. So the one with our emotes for subscribers. The one without our emotes for non-subscribers. We're going to go raid a wonderful individual. Oop, if I can spell it right. We're going to go raid a wonderful individual, and if you can stick around for that raid, even if it's only like 5-10 minutes, I would really appreciate it. Friends, we're going to go raid the leader of my stream team, Selena. We're going to go raid the leader of my stream team, Selena, and the primary reason why, not only is the fact that Selena is a wonderful, wonderful human being who I love very, very dearly and makes me very happy in my little soul, but also, she's playing a game called Dinosaur with Double Ds. And that has piqued my interest. And it should pique yours too. So friends, we're going to go and check out... we're going to go check out Selena. We're going to go check out Selena. Friends, I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. GMT. Jesus Christ, get the time zone right. 1 p.m. GMT, where we're going to be putting some games out there for you to vote on. If you would like to vote on the game that we play tomorrow, then all you got to do is turn up, show up, have a good time and what have you. Do you know what I mean? Thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much for the raids, the subs, the gift subs, all the cheeky little bitties. Thank you so much for all the follows. Thanks so much for all you beautiful people that have been lurking, especially those that have used your channel points to redeem the lurk command. And thanks so very much to all you people watching the VODs. I am catching up on the VODs. So the VODs will all be out very, very soon, all right? Friends, I'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. GMT, where we're playing something nice and chill, some indie game of some description, because that's the way we like to do things. And then we'll be back on Wednesday for something a little bit more spooky. Until then, though, friends, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Because if I wouldn't do it, he'll fucking kill you. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.